in Seoul, Gangnam District, Yeoksamdong, on the top floor of the Chungho Group building. This young man is playing an online game in the training room of a top-tier pro gamer, ranked #1 in the world. The game he's playing today is called Battle Rich, and the archenemy he wants to take down is this character named Dex. Looking at Dex's posture on the monitor, he feels this bastard is just too arrogant. Because this is a 1-on-5 battle. One side is playing as a 5-man team, while on Dex's side, it's just him alone. In terms of numbers, Dex seems to be at a disadvantage. Without waiting long, the moment the game starts, both sides immediately clash in a fierce melee. First is this young man. With blazing momentum, he charges at Dex as if wanting to eat him alive. Dex, meanwhile, remains perfectly calm, standing still and gripping his sword tightly without budging. Waiting for his prey to get close, Dex instantly swings a clean, sharp sword strike, severing his arm completely. With just that one light strike, a member of the team is officially defeated. The remaining 4 teammates can't believe their eyes. Taking down an opponent that easily with just a single combo is absolute madness. But the team doesn't give up. Another member steps up to provide support, slowly closing in on Dex to restrain him from behind. But the game isn't that simple. Dex easily notices and quickly blocks the attack. Then he follows up with another attack, successfully landing a double kill and knocking the opponent out cold. But it ain't over till it's over. A guy in the group encourages them not to panic, saying that as long as they hold their formation, they'll definitely win. It's true that holding the formation leads to victory, but it's Dex who wins. The remaining 3 members of the team couldn't even last 2 minutes before Dex casually gifted them a few sword strikes, slicing them into 100 pieces. And just like that, the game is over. This young man still can't believe his 5-man team was completely wiped out. It's officially game over. That guy Dex easily 1v5'd them without breaking a sweat. And the player named Dex who just broke this game world is none other than our male lead, John Jiyoung. Actually, Dex is just one of the many nicknames Jiyoung uses for gaming. But to him, that doesn't matter at all, because Jiyoung's only goal is to claim the #1 spot on the leaderboards. Once he achieves his goal, Jiyoung quickly deletes the game, completely ignoring how salty and frustrated his opponents might feel. A day has passed since Jiyoung abandoned the Dex persona. This has left everyone in the gaming world shocked and buzzing with gossip. The reason Jiyoung quit the game is pretty easy to guess. Many gamers have been retiring lately. It seems the current era of gaming has ended, gradually replaced by something newer and far more captivating. Arcadia. Arcadia Online is a secret joint project by the world's top 3 corporations, as in Argos and Silicorp. It doesn't use a PC or laptop, but is accessed via a device called the Dreamer, creating a virtual world filled with infinite new possibilities. Although newly released, Arcadia has already attracted a massive number of buyers eager to experience it. And this Arcadia delivery truck is currently parked at the address of the final Dreamer buyer. Of course, that's none other than Jiyoung. However, looking at this rundown, dilapidated house makes the delivery guy wonder. He's living like this and still bought a gaming console? But his living conditions or whatever don't matter to Jiyoung at all. Seeing the highly sought-after Dreamer delivered gets him so excited his eyes literally sparkle. Without hesitation, he immediately turns on his PC and deletes all data on the Dex character to make room for his new baby, the Dreamer. John Jiyoung, 20 years old. Today, he's ditching all these outdated games to transition into a virtual world that isn't just a game. The world of Arcadia, a true dream world. Countless games exist within this world, and there are many hidden elements left behind by the developers. They could be simple jokes, or they could be massive trolls with a significant impact on the players, and we call them Easter eggs. Continuing with the narration, or they could be mysterious puzzle pieces. In a hidden location, a pair of hands with large wristbands opens up. A mysterious figure with an enigmatic smile says, "I'll leave this to you." Alice. Alice is the owner of those hands. She accepts something from the other person, glowing with a bright emerald light. She replies softly, "Yes. Everything is for the future generations." The scene ends with an image of a book sinking deep into the water. Virtual reality technology is built by directly connecting the human brain to a machine, digitally stimulating the senses. It creates a virtual world that gives us a real-life experience. The successful development of this VR technology is no lie. The story shifts to a location in the virtual world where our protagonist, John Jiyoung, has spawned. He stands in a fairly crowded area. Someone in the crowd shouts, "Anyone want to go hunting? We need more people for a party to do the daily quest of collecting 100 slime cores." Another person is peddling, "I'm selling stamina recovery potions here." Then a customer's voice chimes in, "Got any metal ores? I'll buy them all. 50 bronze each." Jiyoung wonders, what's going on, as he stands in an alley. Jiyoung opens his system interface. Level 1, equipped with only basic gear. He thinks to himself, the interface isn't as complicated as I thought. His beginner quest is to kill one slime. I should finish the beginner quest first. He spots a blue slime. In Arcadia, it's very difficult to move with precise accuracy. Therefore, skills were created to assist in executing movements, such as dashing, backstepping, or swinging a sword. But, for someone with exceptional talent like Jiyoung, it doesn't take much effort or time. With a single strike, he easily and swiftly kills the slime. The system notifies, "Beginner quest completed." Jiyoung smiles in satisfaction. I'm getting the hang of this. On to the next quest. A new quest is generated. Jiyoung is extremely confident in himself. Whatever it is, I'll clear it in a flash. His next quest is to read 100 books. This catches him completely off guard, making him sweat bullets. He curses inwardly, "What a trash game." The scene shifts to another location, a place filled with books. It's the public library. Two girls are sitting there. The pink-haired girl says excitedly, "Hey, look over there. He's pretty unique, isn't he?" The purple-haired girl asks, "What's going on?" The other girl replies, "That guy? He's been reading books all day long." It's our Jiyoung, grinding out his quest to read 100 books. The books he's finished have already formed a towering stack. The purple-haired girl laughs. "What's so special about reading books in a library?" The younger girl says, "You know how it is. These days, even if it's for a quest, people just skim through 10 books and leave immediately. Have you ever seen anyone read as intently as him?" Meanwhile, Jiyoung is reading while cursing internally, "This damn game. I'm definitely going to delete it." The older sister just says, "He'll probably leave soon like everyone else." Jiyoung speaks up, "Excuse me, do you have volume 2 of this book?" He asks while pointing at a book. The older sister is stunned. "Wait, what? Volume 2? Why are you suddenly asking for volume 2? She thinks to herself, "Did he actually read that book? He's not just asking for fun, right?" Jiyoung says, "There were some pretty interesting things in volume 1, so I figured there'd be more info in volume 2. The older sister is puzzled. "Interesting things?" Jiyoung replies, "This book, The History of Arcadia, volume 1. The Oldest Ruins, Edeline." He says, leaving the girl completely dumbfounded. She then brings over another book. "Here, your volume 2. Read to your heart's content. Just make sure to return it." He replies, "Thanks." Taking the book, he voices the question on his mind. "I'm a bit curious. Why do you keep volume 2 in such a separate place?" The girl answers, "That's because this is a special book that can only be read if you ask me directly." Jiyoung reaches out and touches the book. A very strange sensation washes over him. In a mysterious dimension, Alice is there. Beginner Village, Edeline. Unexpected event detected. Conditions for the hidden quest have been met. Designating the player as a special subject for analysis. Jiyoung holds the book and smiles. A long time ago, there was a legendary explorer. He hid a treasure beneath the lake of the beginner village, Edeline. Its existence has only been passed down through rumors. No one has ever been able to find the location of that treasure. One thing is for sure, it is the oldest trace of darkness. Rumor has it that the legendary explorer of the past, Ed, hid it near the lake beside Edeline. Of course, no one has ever been able to find the trace of darkness there. Thus, this legend was gradually forgotten. And if it's a lake near Edeline, then it has to be Lake Aruin right in front of the village, right? The male lead thinks to himself. He checks the map, looking at Lake Aruin. Jiyoung has now arrived at the lakeshore, surrounded by natural scenery under the setting sun. North of Edeline, Lake Aruin. He thinks to himself, "I only came here because it sounded interesting. There's no way there'd be traces of that treasure in a peaceful lake like this." He opens the system. The final condition to generate a new quest has been met. A quest has been created based on the related clues. Quest difficulty, B. Impact level, B+. Main scenario has been triggered. Player Dex, level has been analyzed, level 1. A new quest has been generated. Quest rank B+, tracing the darkness. You have found a record stating that the oldest trace of darkness is at Lake Iruin. Investigate whether the record is accurate and track down the trace. 0 firsts. He thinks, a brand new game like this already has a B+ rank quest? I thought the highest would only be C rank. Finally, this game is getting interesting. The sunlight continues to shine on the beautiful natural scenery of the lake. The water's surface is perfectly still. Beneath the surface lies a terrifying creature. This creature opens its eyes, glowing with a piercing red light. It's now late afternoon, approaching dusk. The setting sun casts a golden hue over a corner of the sky. Dex is currently strolling under the forest canopy. He glances around, taking in the sights, and mutters, "There's nothing special around here," which makes this whole thing even more suspicious. Suddenly, his eyes widen. It seems he's discovered something special. Under the lake, he stares intently at the calm, tranquil surface of the lake, coated in a sparkling golden layer from the evening sun. Then, with a look of determination, he rolls up his sleeves. All right. Saying that, he immediately takes a running start and dives straight into the lake, creating a massive splash that sends water flying everywhere. As soon as his entire body sinks deep underwater, Dex quickly and sharply realizes, what? This. A small lake being this deep is a bit too much. Meanwhile, at Arcadia's South Korea branch, a group of people is extremely tense in front of a large screen flashing a bright red warning sign. Warning, main scenario triggered. The man in charge is the executive director and general manager of the Korean branch of AK. He's currently tearing his hair out. I'm going insane. He frowns in frustration and barks. What the hell did you do in a continent that's been open for less than a week, and the main quest is? An employee standing nearby interjects. Well, according to the quest analysis team, it seems a player has triggered a conflict with a certain element related to the game's main scenario. Hearing this, Kwon Myung-han turns and asks, a certain element? What kind of chaos did he cause that the entire game is shaken just by the actions of a single player? The employee stammers awkwardly. We're not entirely sure about that either. Kwon Myung-han sighs in exasperation. Phew. All right. Then he issues an order. First, report this issue to the chairman, and make sure every department is fully prepared to respond immediately to any emergency situations. Understood. The group hastily replies, yes, sir, and dejectedly leaves. The room is left with only Kwon Myung-han, still deep in thought over the daunting problem at hand. A main scenario triggered just 4 days after launch. It's been completely peaceful in the US, even though it's been open for over 3 months. Is this the result of a Korean server? As for Dex, he has just surfaced from the water, gasping for air after his recent exploration. System notification windows pop up one after another before his eyes. Diving skill has leveled up to rank B. You can now dive deeper for a longer period of time. Your accumulated points have increased by 1. Soaking wet and exhausted, he sits by the lake, frowning as he recalls what just happened. Damn it. It felt like I dove 200 meters deep, but I couldn't even see the bottom of the lake. His gaze drifts toward the distance on the other side of the lake, where the dark, shadowy forests lie. His resolve begins to waver. Should I just give up? He starts agonizing over it again. Right now, with the game having just launched, other players are trying their hardest to claim the top spot. Wasting time leveling up my diving skill at a crucial time like this. Suddenly, he clenches his fists. And more importantly, the installment plan for the gaming pod. $920 a month. An intense internal struggle begins in Dex's mind. I was planning to pay it off using in-game item drops. But at this rate, there's no way I can make nearly $1,000 a month. However, that undiscovered, hidden secret is also something special, making him feel incredibly reluctant to let it go. A hidden quest. Something exclusively for me. A quest completely separate from the other players. After hesitating for a moment, he stands up straight, looking at his reflection in the water, and continues, if the reward turns out to be nothing, It's gonna hurt like hell. Suddenly, making up his mind, he flashes a confident, triumphant smile. As a gamer, I can't just let this opportunity slip away. Alright, I'll do absolutely everything I can. Meanwhile, at Silicorp's headquarters in Silicon Valley, USA. In the chairman's office, a petite little girl with blonde hair styled in cute twin tails is sleeping on a bed. Her childlike appearance completely contradicts her status. That is Jenny Capel, the head of Silicorp. Suddenly, something startles her, making her eyes snap wide open as she wakes from her daze. In the room filled with adorable items, a scream suddenly rings out. What do you mean the main scenario has been triggered in Korea? The man named Jack appears on a large pale blue screen. His hair covers half his face, giving him a mysterious vibe. He answers softly. A Korean player has discovered a clue leading to a hidden class concealed in the beginner village. According to Alice's analysis, there is a high probability this will lead to the main scenario. This is highly unfavorable news for the corporation. Hearing this, Jenny Capel sits in front of the screen, frowning and lightly tugging at her hair. Did we really leave something that would cause such a massive impact in the beginner village? Jack replies calmly, not us. That bastard left it there. As he speaks, a faint, unrecognizable silhouette flashes in his mind. Jenny scowls in anger. She growls, that damn bastard. Saying that, she rushes over, frantically sweeping items off her desk to find her tablet. She hurriedly searches, scrolling back and forth for a moment before exclaiming, found it. However, the information before her eyes leaves her reading in sheer, baffled astonishment. Hidden class, anarchist poet. No leveling system. No attack skills. What the hell is this? How are you even supposed to play the game with this? She complains. Faced with her hot-tempered attitude, Jack calmly speaks up, but in exchange, they receive a special ability. Jenny Capel looks as if she's had an epiphany. A special ability? Wait a second. Saying that, she lowers her head again to search for something. However, it's unknown what she sees in the next second, or what it is that makes her eyes widen, trembling and breaking into a cold sweat. She lets out a loud scream that echoes throughout the building. This is absolute madness. Returning to the virtual game world, 10 days have now passed. The familiar scenery of the lakeshore and the distant forests appears. Dex surfaces from the water, holding some strange object. After a long period of relentless grinding in this spot, he has finally reaped the reward he desired. Standing waist-deep in the water, he holds the strange item up high to inspect it, then flashes a satisfied smile. I found it. Beside him, the system panels pop up one after another. Diving skill has leveled up to rank A. Your accumulated points have increased by 1. Your water resistance has increased by 10. You can now dive to extreme depths. While he's still engrossed in admiring the item he worked so hard to find, a sudden sound catches his attention, making him turn around. Written on it are long lines of text notifying him. Quest. You have completed the quest, Tracing the Darkness. You have found records evidencing the oldest clues of darkness in Lake Eruin. Verified that these records are indeed true, and found the supporting evidence. Objective complete, 1/1. You have received a reward. The Necklace of the Void. The Necklace of the Void is the name of the beautiful item he just found. It contains traces of the void from ancient times. If you use this item, you will need to consider it very carefully. He lifts the item to inspect it once more, pondering to himself. So you're telling me this necklace is a clue? Are you telling me whether I should use it or not? This description is practically a threat. Despite saying that, when the system panel pops up with the question, do you want to use the Necklace of the Void? He doesn't hesitate at all and reaches out to select yes. It seems the decision has been made and the deal is sealed, but unexpectedly, the system asks again, are you sure? Although feeling a bit confused, he reaches out and selects yes once more. The system still doesn't seem to accept this outcome. It asks again, are you really sure? He doesn't even bother thinking and remains completely steadfast in his initial choice. The system doesn't give up either. It keeps repeating its warnings. Are you truly, genuinely sure? I'm asking for the last time. Even if you are genuinely sure, you won't be able to take it back. Every time, he quickly mashes the yes button without even glancing at it. After going back and forth for a while, he angrily clenches his fists and yells, I already said I'm going to use it. Why do you keep asking me if I'm sure? The system seems to compromise. It helplessly says, "You're spamming yes like crazy, aren't you? I know everything." Then, the system panel suddenly undergoes a drastic change, startling him. In some unknown corner, a young man with thick hair covering his face flashes a mysterious smile from behind the system panel and speaks to Dex. "If you've gone this far, it seems you desperately want to use this item. I won't ask anymore. Don't regret it. After all, I've warned you more than enough." The mysterious young man looks seriously at the screen and continues, "From now on, try your best to use all your abilities to cause chaos. Just like I'm doing right now." The strange voice leaves Dex feeling bewildered. "Who's there?" The system doesn't answer his question but begins updating with new notification bars one after another. Hidden quest. Your class has been changed to Anarchist Poet. The leveling system will be removed. Received appropriate stats. A quest system has been added. The character permanently belongs to the player. A new quest has been updated. Dex stares wide-eyed in shock at the main screen in front of him. A hellish quest has been given to him. That is to slaughter beginners. Eliminate new players who have not yet changed their class. Number of beginners killed, 0. Time remaining, 6 days, 23 hours, 55 minutes, 24 seconds. At the West Edeline Grasslands. This is Beginner Hunting Ground, Slime Territory 1. Beginners are fighting the slime monsters. Among them is Dex. He swings his fist, yelling, "Take this," knocking a slime monster high into the air. In another corner, there are 2 beginners. In the male player's hand is a blue gem. He sounds thrilled, an item drop. From a low-level slime, too. The female gamer next to him widens her eyes, looking full of admiration. "That sells for up to 50 bronze. I'm so jealous." In response, the male gamer beams with joy over his lucky find. "I'm so lucky. Now this is what I call a game." Then he strikes a pose, holding the gem up high, and says smugly, "All right, I'm gonna hunt slimes all weekend to make bank." Seeing him so full of himself, the girl helplessly reminds him, "Hey, what about our exams next week?" The two stand there chatting animatedly, completely unaware that they are being watched by another player. Not far behind them, Dex hides behind a tree, thinking to himself, "I have to kill those kids." He wears a look of uncertainty. Dex thinks back to an hour ago. He was sitting in front of his PC. The monitor displayed the text, "Cannot delete character." Dex's face darkened. He didn't know what to do. It felt like stepping on a landmine. Earlier, after changing to the hidden class and being bombarded with a series of notification windows, he immediately tried to delete his character. For a very simple reason. When facing the control panel, the player info popped up. Nickname, Dex. Level, none. Class, Anarchist Poet. He focused his thoughts. Just as I thought. It's not here. The leveling system is gone. This is the most fundamental system in the game. Yet Dex no longer had this system, meaning his potential for growth had vanished. This would create a massive gap. If other players kept leveling up, the disparity would only grow wider. He didn't want this to happen at all. But he remembered what that guy said. Just keep trying your best. Like I'm doing right now. Depressed and defeated, he thought. I should have stopped the moment I heard that. I let my competitiveness blind me. I'd rather just lie on the grass and stare up at the blue sky. Dex thought to himself. Well, staying like this won't solve anything. As rays of sunlight slipped through his fingers, a spark suddenly flashed in his mind. Anarchist Poet. No matter how bad it is, it's still a hidden class. There has to be some kind of benefit, right? After that, he scoured through the stat windows for a long time, searching for any useful information. And finally, he found something. Under the Anarchist Poet's abilities, there was something special. It was Recognition, 0. Seeing this, he pondered, Recognition? What's that? The system screen displayed an explanation. Recognition increases the ability to interfere with this world. By using this stat, you can personally alter the laws of the world. The stat will be consumed upon use. Dex's face was filled with surprise. What is this? His head was full of question marks. Suddenly, the screen changed. Before Dex's eyes, text appeared. A new quest has been updated. Reading the quest, his expression couldn't have been more priceless. Kill beginners. Kill new players who have not yet changed their class. Players killed, 0. Time remaining, 6 days, 23 hours, 55 minutes, 24 seconds. Back to reality. Standing behind the tree, he still can't believe it. So I really have to kill those newbie kids? Doesn't this quest mess with the game's management? He lowers his head in thought. What should I do? After thinking it over, he makes a decisive choice. Well, let's just give it a try first. Gripping the blade in his right hand, he channels his power, igniting a blue flame that engulfs both the blade and his hand. He readies his stance, building momentum to dash toward the two gamers, muttering to himself, I'm just playing the game, too. But something unexpected happens. A blonde-haired guy attacks the two of them first. The guy smirks. Damn, I almost kicked him flying. The blue-haired female gamer hurriedly helps her friend up, yelling angrily, Who are you people? Two guys burst out laughing, including the blonde one. The other guy lowers his head, covering his face in embarrassment, thinking, Not this again. The blonde guy smiles brightly and introduces himself. Us? We're the owners of this hunting ground. Who the hell are you to come in here and hunt our monsters? On the other side, Dex is also full of questions, thinking, Who are these guys? The beta hasn't even been open that long, and they're already fighting over territory. The blue-haired female gamer tears up, angrily arguing back. This is a beginner hunting ground. It's a public area for everyone. Who are we supposed to ask for permission? Hearing that, the blonde guy narrows his eyes, stepping closer to confront the female gamer. He says in annoyance, You little brat, you're way too loud. I can tell from your accent, you guys are from Seoul, right? And talking about exams, you must be high schoolers. As he speaks to them, blood-red text gradually appears above his head. Level 12, Crazy Monkey. This makes the male gamer flinch in panic. A red ID. That's the sign they've killed other players. This is a piker. Meanwhile, the blue-haired female gamer seems terrified by the blonde guy's words. Crazy Monkey says, If I dig into your nickname a bit, I bet I could find out exactly where you live, huh? She trembles in fear, tears welling up, unable to speak. He continues in a condescending tone. You get what I mean, right? Then the three of them glare at the female gamer with murderous intent. Get lost if you don't want to get killed. Seeing this, the terrified female gamer turns to beg the people around them for help, her eyes full of despair. Help! Please help us. Why is everyone just standing there watching? The male gamer with her sits up, covered in injuries, trying to reason with them. You guys, why are you doing this? It's just a game. Can't we just play for fun? In response, the three guys give him an indescribable look. Then the three of them burst out laughing as if it's the funniest thing in the world. Crazy Monkey says with arrogant disdain, Exactly like you said. This is a virtual reality game. That's exactly why we're acting like this. Crazy Monkey lectures them thoughtfully. Games don't have rules. Power is the only metric that matters. Isn't that right? This is a game, after all. Then a voice rings out, I agree, followed by a blade slashing out. One of the guy's legs goes flying into the air. A blood-curdling scream of agony echoes out. The other two turn around in shock. Dex smiles brightly, his voice full of regret. Damn, I almost killed you. Saying that, without giving the three guys time to react, he swings his blade, swiftly ending their lives. At the same time, his nickname changes from green to red. The system chimes 3 times in a row. Recognition has increased by 1. Dex looks at the notification and thinks, so killing one person increases it by 1. I don't know what it's used for, but it's pretty hard to raise. Suddenly, a voice calls out from behind. Thank you. It turns out to be the two gamers running over and kneeling in gratitude, thinking Dex stepped in to save them. They say in unison, Thank you for saving us. How can we ever repay you? He replies coldly, No need to thank me, because I'm planning to kill you too as well. For a quest. Leaving the two of them with faces full of shock. Dex rests his blade on his shoulder, smiling kindly, but his words send shivers down their spines. Don't take it personally. It's just a game, isn't it? The male gamer only has time to think. I can feel it. That look in his eyes is real. He's insane. Then he is sliced in half. At the same time, the system notification rings out twice in a row. Recognition has increased by 1. Meaning 2 more gamers have just vanished from the game. Under the watchful eyes of everyone around, Dex mutters, Next. Then he turns his head, chuckling with the blade resting on his shoulder. Faced with everyone's terror, Dex says. It's the bystander's turn. Any last words? After that, the forest echoes with blood-curdling screams, the sound of fleeing footsteps, and people begging for mercy. After that day, a rumor spread across the Arcadia homepage. Everyone was saying the exact same thing. A true madman has appeared. The night sky over a forest. A full moon radiates a brilliant light, illuminating the entire woods. Perched on a dead branch is an owl with glowing eyes. Its eyes emit a golden light as it stares intently at something. Reflected in the owl's eyes is the silhouette of a person running for their life into the forest. A blue-haired guy is sprinting and screaming at the top of his lungs. The guy runs desperately, his face covered in sweat, yelling as he flees. Is anyone there? Help me. Suddenly, he trips over a rock. A loud thud and a scream echo through the night sky. The system suddenly pops up. Status: injured. Your movement speed is decreasing. He sprawls on the ground, trying to crawl toward the system panel. Damn it! He frantically turns his head, scowling. In the dark forest, a pair of red eyes seems to be watching him, making him panic. From the shadows, a young man wearing a blue cloak steps out, causing the blue-haired guy to panic, his pupils shrinking. Dex smiles brightly, his eyes lifting with pure excitement. The blue-haired guy tries to back away, screaming in a panic as he retreats. You son of a bitch! Instead of killing normal players, why don't you go hunt monsters? Why do you want to kill me? Gripping his knife, Dex forcefully swings it down at him. The blue-haired guy tenses up, squeezing his eyes shut and screaming. You think the devs are going to let you get away with playing dirty right when the game launches? I'm definitely reporting you, you bastard. Hearing him say that, Dex pauses. He looks at him in confusion. What the hell are you babbling about? He frowns. Think about it. Who's the one making me do this, huh? The blue-haired guy asks back in confusion. Before he can even calm down, Dex slashes his sword, splitting the blue-haired guy in two. The system suddenly chimes. You have killed a beginner. You have received 1 recognition. Dex stares straight ahead intensely, holding a blood-red knife in his hand. Then he lets out a yawn. Yawn? I'm so sleepy. In the Arcadia online system, there is something called the death penalty. Death penalty, login restricted for 24 hours. At a company where everyone is bustling with work. This is a mechanic set by the developers to prevent gaming addiction, while also increasing the sense of attachment to the game. Suddenly, a scream rings out. Lift my login ban right now. I'm the victim of that dirty player. Why am I the one getting banned? Arcadia Online Customer Service Department. The company director frowns. What's going on? The employee behind him sweats as he explains. Inquiries related to PK issues have suddenly skyrocketed. The director frowns. PK? We're already swamped as it is. What kind of lunatic has that much free time? The customer service department is now destined for overtime. The system displays Dex's info panel. Level: none. Class: anarchist poet. Equipment: stats. Skills: recognition: 1025. Strength: 10. Vitality: 4. Mana: 10. Intelligence: 4. Agility: 5. Evasion: 3. Accuracy: 4. Luck: 2. Resistance: 0. Looking at the system panel, he says gloomily. So, that's the 1025th kill, huh? Staying up for 2 days straight finally yielded some results. He yawns repeatedly, thinking, yawn? This is turning out to be harder than I thought. Or rather, getting criticized every time I kill someone is really draining my mental energy. Besides, is it really okay to keep doing this? Massacring beginners right when the game launches. He wonders. This is clearly intentional griefing that disrupts the game's operations. So why did I even get a quest like this? Slaughter beginners. Kill beginners who have not yet changed their class. Number of beginners killed, 1025. Time remaining, 6 days, 23 hours, 55 minutes, 24 seconds. He lets out a sigh. Not my problem anyway. Suddenly, a cue sounds from behind, catching his attention and making him turn around. A horde of slimes emerges from the forest, taking him by surprise. The system chimes. You have saved a slime from danger. Affinity with the slime species has increased. Q. He panics, backing away in a cold sweat and yelling. The slimes pile on top of him, burying him until only his hand is seen waving in the air. He hugs a cute little slime and says happily, "Haha, I thought I could never get along with humans anymore, but it turns out I still have you guys." Suddenly, a noise makes him and the slimes look up in confusion. From within the forest, 4 torches slowly approach them. He looks up at them, his eyes turning dark. He gently pats the slime's head and says, "Sorry guys. I really want to play with you, but if I don't run now, I'm going to be in a bit of trouble." The blue-haired guy and several others holding torches run toward him with annoyed expressions. The blue-haired guy looks around but doesn't see him. He frowns, sweating. Suddenly, he points in the direction Dex is fleeing and yells, "Over there! Catch him! Hurry!" He runs like the wind through the forest. After running for a bit, he realizes there's a cliff up ahead. Getting closer and closer to the cliff, Dex stops. Behind him is the cliff, and the others are standing right in front of him. The blue-haired guy says with an arrogant look, "Huh, ran all this way just to hit a dead end. How pathetic. You look just like a rat caught in a trap. Just die already." Hearing him say that, Dex's expression turns grim. Suddenly, he lets out a soft chuckle. He throws himself off the cliff. Up above, the others stare at him in shock. The blue-haired guy stares in disbelief and stammers, "That absolute lunatic. He actually jumped. Is he a freaking idiot?" Dex smiles wickedly. Log out. On YouTube, some footage of him is being broadcast with the title, "Breaking News, Dirty Piker? The Massacre by the Serial Beginner Killer." Right below the video are heated comments debating the incident. Going down the path of a beginner slaughterer? Interesting. Interesting? Try getting killed by him, and see if it's still interesting. Looking at his gear, it seems he just changed to the warrior class. Top-tier mechanics right there, LOL. But seriously, what's wrong with him? Does he have some psychological issues? Now is not the time to laugh. The blue-haired guy, salty after failing to catch Dex, glares at his monitor. "I'm a beginner who died by his hands 2 days ago. Since then, I've been keeping an eye on the notice boards. Sure enough, there are over 700 reported cases showing up. On the screen are some comments debating about Dex. 700 kills? You've got to be kidding me. Just gather around 10 people, and you can kill him as easily as taking candy from a baby." The blue-haired guy grits his teeth and says, "That's right. I'm planning to form a party to hunt him down. Anyone who wants to join, please contact me. Time and location, at the Fountain Plaza in-game." The blue-haired guy manages to gather a group of people who were previously killed by Dex. "Everyone, thank you for joining me today." He says seriously, "Now then, we will begin our villain subjugation meeting. If one had to choose one of Arcadia's most appealing features, it would be the player-driven events. Not just in-game, but the players' reactions on the internet can also shape a storyline. It is actually materialized into the game, thanks to an AI that controls everything. An AI in the form of a girl. A little girl with white hair, wearing a white dress, adorned with striking blue eyes. Her name is Alice. Large-scale party formation detected. Analyzing related causes. Related quest. Main event. Act 1. The Birth of Darkness. She reaches out and points at the control panel. Suddenly, a system notification rings out, generating new quest. A quest panel appears in front of the blue-haired guy, catching his attention. Huh. The quest panel is displayed to everyone present. Quest. Catch the serial beginner killer. Catch the anonymous murderer who is massacring beginners in the slime territory. At the Korean branch, Scenario Team, Quest Planning and Design Management. The game's main monitor glitches out, throwing everyone there into a panic. The chairman yells, "A quest was issued without any prior notice?" And on top of that, it was sent to all players. The employee next to him panics. "We're still analyzing the cause." The boss turns around and roars, "Are you seriously going to take this lightly? We haven't even had the servers open for that long, and it's already a complete mess in here." Scenario Team Leader, Director Kang Tae-ho. The people there look at him in outrage, yet remain silent. They are incredibly anxious, sweating profusely. This is clearly an emergency situation. Even if a quest was suddenly sent to all players, if it were just a normal quest, the whole room wouldn't have fallen into such chaos. I'm certain. This is a quest related to the main scenario in Act 1. Hearing the writers say that, the director steps back in tension. All the predictions made by our scenario team were incorrect. Within 2 days of the main quest being issued, the quest has already begun. Issued and begun. There is an undeniable difference between these two concepts. Just like a seed doesn't sprout and bear fruit immediately after being planted. By the time a quest is issued to all players as a major event through a ripple effect, many months would normally have passed. That's what the scenario team predicted. They all stare in panic at the red screen. Director Kang Tae-ho stares tensely at the screen, thinking, 2 days. The gap is way too big to just brush off as an inaccurate prediction. There has to be a reason. On the screen is the game's information. What he finds is information about the beginner killer. He glares at the screen in anger. What the hell is this? The employee next to him answers nervously. Well, one of the players is going around killing other players in the beginner hunting grounds within the slime territory. We predict that this player is directly connected to this main scenario. What about the killer's information? Where does he live and what does he do? I tried to verify that, but we currently can't check it because of a viewing restriction set by the headquarters. The director looks at the screen, resting his chin on his hand, thinking, headquarters? Why would they go that far just for a normal player? Who is this guy? Suddenly, a piece of information leaves him astounded. The screen displays, number of players killed, 1,025. The scene shifts to the front door of Dex's house. Dex is sleeping soundly. Rays of sunlight filter through the cracks in the door, gently falling on his face. Suddenly, he slowly opens his eyes, drool still running down his face. On his monitor, a new event is displayed. Special event. The righteous quest to catch the killer. With Arcadia Online, justice blooms, and rewards will rain down. Take down the vicious piker who has monopolized the beginner hunting grounds. He stares at the screen nervously, thinking, what is this? He frowns, trying to force an awkward smile. This is definitely talking about me, right? The engagement on that post is incredibly high, making him yell in shock. Over 2,000 comments. He frowns, gritting his teeth as he looks at the comments, and says, this is starting to get troublesome. It's honestly a bit humiliating. But, should I slowly put an end to all this? But considering that, there's still way too much to gain. He looks at the VR login pod, his mind in turmoil. Sigh. He looks at the in-game world where the slimes are playing around, pondering as he says, what should I do now? I never expected them to create a quest just to catch me. Slime territory. A place where slimes smile and play happily with each other. He slowly stands up and says, it's the best place to hunt beginners. Should I find somewhere else? Suddenly, a cry comes from behind, catching his attention and making him turn around. A slime with a sad expression. Q. He looks at the slime in surprise. A slime. Ugh, this is too hard. Hearing the noise, he looks up. 2 guys are walking by, smiling. The orange-haired guy says, damn it. I told you to pick a class other than mage. The brown-haired guy next to him angrily grips his wooden staff and replies, screw this. I didn't know hunting a single slime would be this hard. The orange-haired guy grits his teeth. He spots the slime standing at Dex's feet and yells, I found the slime we were hunting. The 2 of them, one holding a sword and the other a staff, run over. Over there. Hey man, we're hunting that one. Don't touch it. Don't try to steal our kill. That's not cool. Don't touch that slime. Its HP is super low. It might just die. Hearing them say that, Dex looks down at the little slime looking up at him sadly. He lowers his head. Then he opens his eyes, staring straight at the 2 of them. He pulls the hood of his cloak over his head and slowly walks toward them. The orange-haired guy frowns and asks in confusion, what's wrong with that bastard? The brown-haired guy next to him suddenly realizes, that appearance. I think I've seen him somewhere before. Dex stares intensely at the 2 of them. The orange-haired guy frowns. Dex slowly takes a few running steps. The orange-haired guy reaches out toward Dex. The brown-haired guy frowns and yells, are you deaf? Dex looks up in silence. Suddenly, he chuckles softly. Dex uses all his strength to scream. It's a piker. The orange-haired guy frowns, his eyes rolling back in shock as he says, what? Dex throws himself to the ground, throwing a tantrum. I'm gonna die? There's a piker here. The orange-haired guy standing nearby stammers. What are you talking about? I'll push you. Dex keeps screaming, a piker. The piker is right here. The people nearby who were searching for the piker hear this, and their eyes light up. A piker. They look toward the 2 of them. The reward. This makes the orange and brown-haired guys panic, yelling to explain, no. That bastard got in my way, so I just pushed him. The orange-haired guy turns around and yells, "Isn't that right? Look, that suspicious-looking guy is the one." By the time the orange-haired guy turns around, Dex and the slime have already run away. He yells, "He ran away." The people there frantically charge at the orange-haired guy. "Shut up. Hand over the event reward. You murderer. Why are you targeting young beginners? You psycho. The reward. The reward." The mob glares at the two of them. The brown-haired guy sweats nervously, thinking, "Now I remember. I was wondering where I'd seen that gloomy look before. That guy is the piker everyone's been talking about." The sky and ground begin to glow with a red light. The blood-curdling screams of the two guys ring out. "We're innocent. Shut up, you murderer." The scene shifts to another forest. Dex and the slime are sitting on a log, sweating and panting heavily. "Phew, I barely escaped at the last second." He picks up the little slime and smiles. "Huh? You followed me all the way here." The slime smiles happily. "Phew, phew, phew." He hugs the little slime and asks, "Haha, you adorable little thing. Are your wounds okay?" The system starts chiming with notifications. You have saved a slime in danger. Affinity with the slime species has reached its maximum value. You have received the title, Friend of Slimes. Holding the little slime in his arms, he looks up at the system notifications and says, "Well, considering the number of slimes I've saved is about equal to the number of beginners I've killed, getting that title makes sense." He hugs the little slime, pondering. However, nothing changes the fact that I've received level 1 slime affinity. To keep playing the game, I need something to help me overcome this situation. The system chimes. You have met the minimum requirement for recognition points. You have formed a mutually beneficial relationship with the slime race. You are now permitted to use recognition points to help them. He looks at the system panel in confusion. Help them. Level 1 slime. HP, 50. Mana, 0. Power, 10. Physical defense, 1. Recognition points, 1,025. He looks down at the slime in astonishment. Suddenly, he breaks into a smile. He laughs out loud. "Ha ha. This game is going to be so fun and absolutely insane. So this is what recognition points were made for, huh?" He channels a wave of orange and red energy into the slime, causing it to gradually turn orange. Recognition points, 1,025. Recognition points will be consumed permanently. Do you really want to apply these changes? He smiles, focusing on the notification. Yes. Then, a massive godlike figure seems to appear over him and the slime, bestowing power upon them. A brilliant beam of light illuminates the entire forest. The base stats of the slime race have been altered. Monsters are targets for players to destroy, from succubi to stone golems. Their existence is crucial in RPGs. Among them are those meant for beginners in early hunting grounds. They provide basic combat practice. These monsters are known as beginner-level mobs. In the world of Arcadia Online, these monsters are called slimes and take the form of walking jelly. However, what would happen if this species of monster became far too strong for beginners? The results can be found on Arcadia's official mod page. Videos with titles like, "Trying to become the strongest possible with a level 1 wooden stick," or tower climbing videos. Videos like, "Guess if I'm a beginner or not," or a video titled, "These slimes are way too OP." This video even hit a massive view count. The content of the video is as follows. The realistic game scenery unfolds before the player's eyes. An incredibly immersive experience. Wow, I can even see my fingerprints clearly. The graphics in here are freaking amazing. Through the player's perspective, the scenery appears incredibly lifelike. The entire point of view feels exactly like a real-life experience. Suddenly, the player spots a blue slime monster in front of them. Is that a slime? It's so cute. Look how derpy it is. Anyway, I'll try to take it down. Saying that, the player readies their weapon for combat. The seemingly harmless monster lets out a soft cry. Cue. The player pauses for a moment. Instantly, the normally docile slime lunges forward, actively attacking the player, catching her off guard and knocking her backward. What the hell? Wait a minute. No. Somebody help me. The player, under its relentless attack, can't hold out for long and quickly dies. A notification suddenly pops up in front of her. You have died. You have received a penalty restricting login for the next 24 hours. Please be more careful next time. Below the video, the engagement is just as massive. Everyone is eagerly commenting. Oh my god, did she just get killed by a slime? What the heck? Is she faking it? How do you die in one hit? Slimes have been abnormally strong lately. I died too. What are you guys talking about? Slimes got buffed. The result of spending 1,025 recognition points. Level 15 slimes. A tragic outcome caused by a seemingly weak creature. Arcadia averages 10,000 new beginners every day. Absolute annihilation. All the new players gradually grow terrified of this little monster. An incredibly cute slime approaches. Q. It is swiftly sliced in half. But the players around are also struggling immensely. What the hell? What's wrong with these slimes? How is my HP almost empty after just 2 hits? Some are helplessly chased to the point of despair. Help me. This thing is chasing me like crazy. Somebody help. Right at this moment, up on the cliff, Dex looks down and thinks, haha, what an absolute mess. Come to think of it, these slimes are supposed to be passive mobs that only fight back when attacked first. How did they turn into aggressive mobs that attack on sight? A slime stands before a beginner, confidently approaching. Dex wonders, did their very nature change after leveling up? If so, recognition. Is that the ability to alter a monster's nature when recognition is applied? This is probably a complex ability of this anarchist poet class that I need to look into more. Suddenly, he spots some familiar figures down below. Are those the guys who were chasing me earlier? Meanwhile, the group below is surrounded by slimes. At this moment, a blue-haired youth screams, ah, how dare these mere slimes attack us? As soon as he says that, he sees a slime lunging right at him. He can only stand there, rooted to the spot, taking the full brunt of the attack. Q. The monster cries out happily. Another notification pops up. An enhanced slime has killed a beginner. Seeing this, the rest of the group instantly falls into sheer terror. He got taken out in one hit. Then, a series of blood-curdling screams ring out. Ah, help! An enhanced slime has killed a beginner. Recognition has increased by 1. An enhanced slime has killed a beginner. Recognition has increased by 1. Witnessing the whole scene, Dex finally understands. He licks his lips slyly. This is way more interesting than I thought. Just 2 hours later, his recognition has skyrocketed to 3,924 points. He puts his hands on his hips, laughing in delight. I earned this much in just 2 hours. That's 4 times the recognition I had before. This makes the 2 days I spent assassinating beginners feel completely useless. His beginner kill count is already at 4,949. I shouldn't just focus on doing the quest myself anymore. Wouldn't it be better if I buffed the slimes as much as possible and just reaped the rewards from them? The slimes have reached level 15 and can no longer be upgraded. Seeing the notification, he feels disappointed. I knew it wouldn't be that easy, but he isn't the stubborn type either. Oh well. Anyway, this level is enough, so it's fine. Dex looks at the slimes in front of him and waves his hand. Alright then, I'm counting on you guys. The slimes bounce around in response. Okay, master. Meanwhile, at Arcadia Online's South Korea branch, Kwon Myung-han glares in anger. Report right now. Why yes, sir. So scary. A brave employee steps forward and says, today at 13:20, we confirmed that the stats of numerous slimes have increased bizarrely. Because of this, a massive number of beginners have been suddenly wiped out. This situation is still ongoing. Kwon Myung-han asks if there's any news from headquarters. The employee answers honestly. Regarding that, we've run multiple checks, but haven't received any answers yet. Kwon Myung-han curses, damn it. I'll check it myself later. Anyway, how much stronger have the slimes gotten? If they weren't at least twice as strong, we wouldn't be in this mess. The employee stammers in fear. Why yes, about that. 10 times. This time, it's the boss's turn to be shocked. They're 10 times stronger. What? Kwon Myung-han turns his back, deep in thought. 10 times. Not just 2 or 3 times, but 10 times. 10 times stronger. The employees behind him stare at the floor in fear. Suddenly, Kwon Myung-han yells, Data team. How much HP does a beginner start with? The employee replies, they have exactly 100 HP. Kwon Myung-han looks horrified. That means, with the slime's current power, The employee probably guesses his boss's thought. Yes, for a level 1 beginner. Just one hit is enough to send them back to town to respawn. Saying that, he quickly takes action himself. Everything happening in Arcadia can't just be a simple bug, because it is a world meticulously calculated by the most advanced technology. He opens the door and steps inside. But we can't just ignore this incident. Kwon Myung-han decides to experience it firsthand. If I can't understand the current situation from the reports, then I'll observe it directly in the game. A blue light appears right before his eyes. The game begins. A permission confirmation notification appears in his vision. Level 3 Administrator, Executive Director Kwon Myung-han, confirmed. Permission granted. Connecting. He slowly enters the virtual reality space. His face is full of determination. I'm here to find out the truth. He calls out, Alice. The little girl with white hair hears the call and immediately appears. At beginner hunting ground, Slime Territory 1. Right now, Dex is walking through a forest. He silently observes the path ahead. Dex mutters, There's no one here. Something must have happened. The system displays a notification, Slaughter Beginners. Kill players who have not yet advanced their class. Number of beginners killed, 9,640. Time remaining, 1 day, 22 hours, 46 minutes, 17 seconds. Dex speculates, the kill count is slowing down. Hardly any new players are coming here anymore. I bet the rumor about this place being dangerous has already spread. He observes other players fighting and killing slimes. On top of that, level 15 adventurers have started coming here to hunt slimes. With my current strength and the slimes, it'll be hard to deal with them. He watches the other players. So much freaking EXP. Dex realizes, does this mean this place isn't of much use anymore? But well, it's not too bad. He looks up at the number on the system. 9,987, because the number in the quest hasn't completely stopped increasing. The number slowly ticks up and finally hits the 10,000 mark. Instantly, a system notification appears. You have killed 10,000 beginners. This is an achievement few can reach. You have become a vicious murderer recognized by all. Title acquired, Beginner Slaughterer. Quest rewards have been upgraded. You will now receive a mid-tier reward. Another notification panel pops up, this time showing a reward chest. Mid-tier reward. Accept. He is absolutely thrilled to receive the notification for a mid-tier reward. A mid-tier reward. Hit the jackpot. Let's see what's inside. He quickly presses Accept on the notification panel. After opening the chest, a purple light emerges. The light is incredibly blinding and grows larger and larger. Dex frowns. He grits his teeth, full of frustration. What is this? Is the mid-tier reward actually a trap? Why is the visual effect so damn blinding? After the light fades completely, only a black sphere remains floating in midair. He wonders, that black thing must be the reward, right? It's an egg. A large crack begins to form on the black egg, and then it completely splits in half. Another blinding light spills out from inside the egg. Another system notification instantly appears. You have opened the mid-tier reward. You have received a companion. A man with white wings emerges from the light created by the egg. The man flashes a smile, directing his glowing red eyes toward Dex. He asks coldly, "Who are you?" To have the audacity to summon me. Intimidated by the man's oppressive aura, Dex fearfully backs away step by step. Yet, he is incredibly excited, thinking, what terrifying pressure. What kind of monster did I just summon? Dex's eyes widen in shock. He seems to have realized something. Wait a minute. That's the Lord of Chaos. The Demon King, Satan. He stares at the glowing red eyes hidden within that purple light. Dex is utterly astounded. The Demon King. Satan flashes an incredibly arrogant smile. Humph. I suppose summoning my complete self is a bit too difficult, huh? It seems I've been summoned in a form younger than my true self. Demon King Satan now appears in the form of a child with white hair, red eyes, and wings on his back. Despite appearing in a tiny body, Demon King Satan remains incredibly arrogant about his power. No matter. With this amount of power, it should be enough to slaughter those damn angels. Dex coldly watches the Demon King, who only reaches his knees, waving his arms and legs around. The Demon King is confused. Huh. Finally, the Demon King realizes that his body has become incredibly tiny. He looks at himself in sheer panic. Where am I? What is with this appearance? What happened to me? Why am I suddenly so tiny? The Demon King grits his teeth, glaring at Dex with hatred. Oi, you human over there. Dex immediately replies. The Demon King angrily asks him, Are you the one who summoned me? Scratching his head, Dex is a bit confused by the Demon King's question. Summon? I can't do that kind of trick yet. I just opened a mid-tier reward and you popped out. By the way, it says you're my companion. The Demon King is now so shocked his soul practically leaves his body. He screams internally. The Demon King finds the whole situation utterly unbelievable. He constantly questions it. No, I am not some low-class imp. Why would I be someone else's companion? What the hell is going on? How could I be bound by a contract without even discussing it first? I commanded countless demons in the demon realm, so why am I now? Dex looks at the tiny Demon King kneeling on the ground, clutching his head. What is this brat talking about? In Dex's eyes, it's still a bit hard to believe. He mutters, So this is the Demon King? The Demon King recalls his majestic and powerful appearance from before. Now, he sits on the ground, covering his face in absolute fury. Sigh? Damn it, what rotten luck. How did I end up like this and get dragged into this bullshit? Seriously, after thinking it over, he irritably calls out to Dex, Human. Dex looks doubtful. Huh. The Demon King hovers in midair to be at eye level with him. He crosses his arms and says coldly to Dex, Whatever the case, since I've been bound by a contract to be your companion, it seems we'll be traveling together for the time being. Dex replies briefly, Yeah. The Demon King uses his tiny body to sit cross-legged on top of Dex's head. Therefore, the Demon King looks down at him. He takes the initiative to make a proposal. Since things have turned out this way, let's get along, all right? Dex looks up at the Demon King on his head, remaining silent. He lowers his eyes, wondering, The Demon King is sitting on my head. Should I be happy about this? Not getting an answer for a while, the Demon King angrily clears his throat. He hovers in the air, observing Dex. Boy, human, it seems you possess a pretty decent source of power, don't you? Dex looks at him in confusion. Power? What power? Right at this moment, the system displays a notification. You can use recognition to unlock your companion's power. However, your companion is a demon. Please be careful not to be deceived or manipulated. The Demon King flashes an incredibly wicked smile. Oh, I get it now. So this is why I was bound to this contract. If things go smoothly, I'll be able to crush those damn angels. Dex asks him in confusion, What are you talking about? Explain. The Demon King flies right in front of Dex. He asks wickedly, Hey, that power of yours, can you give it to me? Dex has been listening to the Demon King this whole time, but understands absolutely nothing. What power are you talking about? The Demon King smiles, pointing at him. What else? That power that allows you to overturn the laws of the world. That thing you possess. After hearing him say that, Dex can only stare wide-eyed in shock. What? No way. He asks the Demon King again. You mean? Recognition. The Demon King points to himself, trying to tempt him. Can you give that power to me? Exactly. After all, as a human, you can probably only use that power to a limited extent. Instead of that, give it to me. If you do, I will reward you handsomely. Dex imagines a mountain of gold, silver, and jewels. The system panel appears. Recognition, 8,975. Evasion, 4. Accuracy, 10. Luck, 4. Resistance, 0. Dex frowns. He speculates. A stat that Demon King Satan desires. That means recognition is a special element in this game. So he asks the Demon King, What will you give me in exchange for my recognition? The Demon King laughs out loud. He summons a magic circle. Let's see. If you give me all of it. A blinding light emerges from the Demon King's magic circle. He waves his hand and asks for Dex's opinion. How about this? The system displays a notification panel. Nago's Lament. Cloak of Nago, the leader of the Demon Realm's second largest faction. Level requirement, 150. Physical defense, 2,500. Magic defense, 1,500. Special skill, energy absorption. Aegis shield, tier 2 demonic skill. Protects the player from one fatal blow. Feeling completely in disbelief. The required level is 150? That's insane. I heard that even the top-ranked players on the US server, who started earlier than the Korean server, are only around level 50 or so. He thought. For me right now? In the end, he still rejected the item offered by the Demon King. I don't need that. The Demon King sneered. I guess ordinary things aren't good enough for you, huh? Makes sense. There's no way someone who signed a contract with me would be satisfied with something like this. The Demon King asked him. If so, what is it that you desire? Without hesitation, he told him. Anything I want? Right now, I haven't really thought of anything. Suddenly, a thought struck him. There is one thing. Dex asked the Demon King. You can also power up monsters, right? The Demon King was full of question marks at Dex's question. He asked curiously, which monster? Dex said a name. Slime. The Demon King was completely taken aback by him. He asked in disbelief, Slime? Then the Demon King clutched his stomach and couldn't stop laughing. You're completely insane. Kiki, you're really interesting. I don't know what this situation is, but I've never seen a request like this before. Dex ignored his mockery. He asked coldly, so can you do it or not? The Demon King pointed at himself. He affirmed with absolute confidence. There is nothing I cannot do. Fine. How much will you give me in return? Dex looked into the system. Recognition, 8,975. He laughed out loud and told the Demon King, all of it. The Demon King also laughed wildly with joy. At this moment, they were standing inside a magic circle. The Demon King shouted, Contract established. A massive beam of light shot straight down from the sky to the ground, illuminating even the surrounding areas. Lightning spread across the sky. The body of the slime monster had now begun to change. It took on a human form. The system displayed a notification. Slime Queen, level 100. A massive fire blazed fiercely. Fire arrow. Kaya. A voice suddenly rang out. Haha, easy as pie. The red-haired man rested a large sword on his shoulder. He said, I don't know what bug caused this, but overall, this situation is pretty great. Killing a few of these gives a decent amount of EXP. The large man wearing armor was extremely disdainful of the slime monsters. Even if it's a level 20 maze, a slime is still just a slime. At the end of the day, they're just weak little mobs with simple attacks. The red-haired guy continued. Thanks to that, this slime lair has become the perfect spot for us, even though they're pretty terrifying for beginners. The girl smiled. Working hard to level up really makes a person feel good. She asked her teammates for their opinion. If we keep this up, do you think we can aim for the top hunter rankings? The red-haired guy laughed loudly. Haha, it's definitely possible. If we keep hunting here, we'll reach that goal eventually. However, the ground suddenly cracked open. The group of people fell straight down below. The girl screamed in terror. What's going on? From the cracks in the ground, a bizarre voice suddenly echoed. Remember the pathetic rage of dying for no reason. That mysterious voice continued to echo. For the race that has always lived in peace. For yourselves, fight against the demons. Revenge. Blood must be paid with blood. Within that beam of light, countless slimes appeared. Those slimes glared at the group of people with glowing eyes. The red-haired guy and his group dropped their jaws in shock when they saw the scene before them. The ground continued to shake. The girl screamed in fear. Kya. The red-haired guy was confused. A tremor? Is it an earthquake? Suddenly, his eyes widened in surprise. Then a terrified scream pierced the air. Oh my God! In front of them were countless slimes floating in midair. They glared at the three people standing there with glowing eyes. The light emitted by the slimes was blinding. The red-haired guy hurriedly used his arm to block the light. His mind was filled with terror. I'm dead meat. Then he screamed, Somebody save me. As if ready to face death, the red-haired guy squeezed his eyes shut. But the death he imagined didn't happen. The red-haired guy was confused. He peeked his eyes open to look. Those slimes didn't attack him at all, but quickly flew past him to go somewhere else. The red-haired guy was completely stunned by this sight. He was baffled. What are they doing? Where are they going? The armored guy suddenly spoke up. Look, there's something over there, right? Something of absolutely massive size suddenly appeared in front of the players. In front of all the players, everyone received a system notification. The girl was confused. Status window? Why did it suddenly pop up? The status window read, Slimes are a race that loves strolling through green fields and cherishes peace more than anyone else. They were senselessly slaughtered by the human individuals who suddenly appeared. After waiting patiently, the slime race has come to a conclusion. There is no need to be patient anymore. Now is the time to rise up and fight for peace. Thus, the countless slaughtered slimes have rallied together to become the leader of their race, fighting to birth new laws. From the chest of the Slime Queen, a blinding light radiated. Slime Queen, level 100. At this moment, the Slime Queen was furious. She let out a roar full of indignation. She looked up at the sky and screamed. Following the Slime Queen's scream, the surrounding trees shook violently. The power of that roar spread far and wide, causing trees to collapse and the ground to shake. Cries for help and screams echoed continuously. Kaya, I'm gonna die. A tree fell on my leg. Someone help me move this tree, please. Help me. I haven't even had my death sentence for long. The red-haired guy jumped to the ground. Beside him was his teammate, the armored guy, who was pinned under a large tree with only one hand sticking out. On the red-haired guy's face, only terror remained. Facing the Slime Queen, the only thing he could do was cry out, "Oh my God!" And the Demon King looked down from above at the chaotic and deadly scene below. Staring in shock, he asked the Demon King in disbelief, "What the hell did you do?" The Demon King put his hands on his hips. He flashed an incredibly smug smile. "I just made the slime stronger like you asked." Dex said angrily, "Wait, when I told you to make them stronger, I didn't tell you to make them overwhelmingly powerful like this." Suddenly, a roar echoed with such immense power that it almost blew the two of them away. Running away in a hurry, he gritted his teeth in anger. Meanwhile, the Demon King was extremely excited. "Ha, she's got guts. If she gets any stronger, she might even earn a spot in the rankings of the Demon World Army." The Demon King ran after Dex. He excitedly told him about the slime's future plans. Kukuku. Even though they're just weak monsters, when their desire for revenge is stirred up, they become surprisingly strong. They will definitely create their own rules. Dex was confused. Desire for revenge? What are you talking about? The Demon King winked, speaking to him playfully. What else? Just like what you've been seeing. These people showed up and killed a bunch of slimes. I just awakened their desire for revenge a little bit. I also used the recognition you gave me. Utterly shocked, the Demon King explained to him, bringing a creature to its next evolutionary stage with a bit of recognition. That is the power I possess. Recognition. Meanwhile, down below, the slime army poured out in massive numbers. Shouts echoed. They're coming right at us. Everyone, get into combat formation. A shield wall was erected in front of the players. They shouted, "Stop them. If they break through the defense line, we're dead." The slimes began their attack. The players and the slimes plunged into a brutally fierce battle. The system displayed a notification. Main storyline. The Forgotten Darkness has begun to form. Linked quest. The quest to defeat the Novice Slayer has been deleted. Linked quest. The Wrath of the Slimes has appeared. A status window popped up in front of all the players. In the status window, the system announced, Main scenario, the Forgotten Darkness has begun to form. The Wrath of the Slimes has appeared. The evil darkness forgotten in ancient times has connected with the slimes and awakened the wrath within them. The slime individuals consumed by rage will destroy absolutely everything that bears the trace of humans. Block their attack and protect your base. Victory condition. Protect the Novice Village. Defeat the Slime Queen. Time remaining. 6 days, 23 hours, 57 minutes, 24 seconds. You will fail if the Guardian Crystal of the Novice Village is destroyed. If you fail, the Novice Village will be destroyed. After seeing the contents of the status window, cries of shock rang out continuously. A main scenario? How can it be this absurd? The Novice Village will be permanently destroyed. Then what's going to happen to us? Ridiculous. What kind of damn game is this? A loud scream suddenly echoed outside the village. Kya! A short-haired girl froze when she heard that scream. She looked to her side. At this moment, the only thought in her head was, we're doomed. The Slime Queen appeared, looking down at all the players in the village. The Demon King suddenly asked Dex, "So, what are you going to do now?" Confused, he asked back, "What do you mean? Everyone must be busy trying to stop those slimes right now." The Demon King leaned in close to him. He came up with a wicked idea and whispered to Dex, If you secretly destroy the guardian crystal of the novice village right now, everything will be over, won't it? Kiki. Dex glared at him inwardly. He thought to himself, this bastard. Every word he says is trying to manipulate me into doing what he wants. And of course, he wasn't going to do what the Demon King hoped he would. He answered him, from now on, I'm just going to sit back and watch. The Demon King was puzzled. Watch? What? The Demon King continued his wicked laughter. He guessed. You want to wait until the very last moment to crush all their hopes, right? Cuckoo, brilliant. What a majestic sight. As expected, you're a true devil, newbie. The Demon King was still laughing maniacally to himself. This is going to be a fun day. Ho-ho. Kiki. Feeling completely helpless against him, Dex thought, whatever, let him talk. At this time, the system continuously popped up notifications. You have defeated a novice player. Recognition has increased by 1. You have defeated a novice player. Recognition has increased by 1. Surrounded by a series of notifications. And when he saw the contents inside, he was extremely surprised. It's exactly like he said. I have to make a decision. Between the players and the monsters, which side will benefit me more if I help them? The Slime Queen. A female monster created by countless innocent little slime souls that were murdered, combined with a strong will for revenge. Possessing an overwhelmingly massive body with a signature green color, she roared furiously in the dark night. She had reached level 100. Her stats were HP 12,000, MP 3,000, Armor 250, Magic Resist 120, Physical Attack 5,500, along with the skills Roar of the Ruler, Leap, and the trait Shared Consciousness of the Tribe. She could regenerate rapidly and, especially because of her grudge, harbored a deep disgust for humanity. This entire scene was being broadcasted in a closed meeting room of the Korean branch under the leadership of Kwon Myung-han. He was resting his chin on his hands, intently observing the situation. Suddenly, the scenario team leader, department head Kang Tae-hoon, who was sitting nearby, abruptly stood up. He spoke anxiously. The server must be shut down immediately. There must be something wrong here. Otherwise, how could a level 100 monster appear in the novice village? Hwang Ji-hee, the lead designer of the design team, also voiced her agreement with him. He's right. We've never designed a monster like that before. That means that monster wasn't designed by the Korean branch. I think this was planned by the headquarters in advance. I think it would be better if we did something. Kang Tae-hoon then turned to react fiercely. CEO, we have to report this to the headquarters. I don't know what those developers are thinking, but they need specific policies for issues like this. This is an abuse of power. Kwon Myung-han bowed his head in deep thought. He recalled the unexpected events that had been happening lately, the main scenario suddenly triggering, and the investigation of that suspicious piker. Finally, the appearance of the raid, the wrath of the slimes. After pondering for a moment, a bold thought suddenly popped into his head, making him frown. Don't tell me. Do you guys know what our company wants to achieve? Hearing Kwon Myung-han ask such a question left everyone bewildered. Kang Tae-hoon asked in shock, what did you just say? Kwon Myung-han ignored him and continued seriously. It's limitless possibilities and infinite freedom. Do you guys think things like this are our plan? I mean, the headquarters. Do you think those lazy bums would make a specific plan and throw it at us? A series of rapid-fire questions were thrown out. Hwang Ji-hee asked coldly, what are you talking about? As if afraid people hadn't understood his thoughts, Kwon Myung-han continued to explain. A single player caused all of this. The appearance of the main scenario, the novice slayer, the manipulation of the slime population, etc., and the appearance of the boss monster. All of these things. Everyone present in the meeting room was simultaneously stunned. Noisy murmurs broke out. How? How is that even possible? Wait, if we check the quest logs, it's actually possible. Kang Tae-hoon asked doubtfully. You mean, all of this was caused by one suspicious player? Kwon Myung-han replied. In any case, if this situation was caused by a player, we cannot intervene. Because that is Arcadia's policy. Even if, as he spoke, he looked down at the tablet placed on his desk. We have to take the penalty for this. If your quest fails, the novice village will be permanently destroyed. At this moment, the novice village was in a chaotic and extremely critical situation. Massive fires blazed, engulfing everywhere, seemingly about to swallow all the houses there. The battle between the players and the slime monsters was still raging fiercely with no sign of stopping. Both sides aggressively charged in, slaughtering each other. Guard Byron rushed forward, slicing a small slime monster in half. He thought tensely, up until now, I've only managed to take down one. This village will be wiped out if there are no adventurers left here. More importantly, their numbers. Where the hell did all these slimes come from? While Byron was still lost in his thoughts, a slime monster had appeared and approached him from behind without him noticing. He turned his head in panic. I'm definitely dead this time. Unexpectedly, at the critical moment of life and death, a blond man suddenly stepped in front of him to block the attack. He turned his head and shouted, "Take this chance to retreat, old man." Byron suddenly snapped out of it. All right, got it. The two of them immediately ran to hide in a small alleyway between the houses. Byron clutched his arm, which seemed to be heavily injured, and said tiredly, I didn't think they'd chase us all the way here. The blond man, while keeping an eye on the outside, comforted him. Treat your wounds here. I'll keep going. Guard Byron looked up at the man and said, Thank you. Thanks to you, I was able to escape death. I don't know how to thank you enough. The blond man turned back, gave a thumbs up, and smiled. Don't mention it. I just did what I had to do. Byron didn't consider it a normal thing. He still said firmly, No. Watching you reminds me of the commander. He also used to go around helping people in danger just like you. Hearing this, the blond man rubbed his head in embarrassment and chuckled. All right. He thought to himself, this scene is actually way more awkward than I thought. Guard Byron suddenly became more tense. What brought me here? He then looked straight at the man and asked, When you have free time, can you meet me for a bit? The warrior's records are written in my grandfather's journal. The blond man looked at his quest system panel. Hidden quest, the savior. You have met all the conditions for class advancement. Do you accept the title of legendary hero? He was a bit surprised, unable to believe his eyes. A hidden quest. I finally found a hidden quest like the rumors said. Whoa, this is insane. Is this something people can find in the main scenario? Then he struck a highly determined pose. I'm gonna do it. I'm really curious about the things that Guard mentioned. Guard Byron was amused by his demeanor. Haha, I'll be waiting for you. But first, he said, we need to stop this monster. That battle. 3 days had passed since the Wrath of the Slimes raid began. After spending about half a week on the raid, the players had been truly helpless against the slimes for 3 days. However, the Korean players did not back down. The tide of the battle turned when high-level players also joined the raid. The novices also formed parties and fought systematically. More importantly, upon killing 1,000 slimes, players would receive the title Slime Slayer. This title increased the player's slime resistance by 30% and boosted their damage against slimes by 40%. The novices who obtained this title were able to slow down the slime's advance. With this, the novices began to see a glimmer of hope. A massive number of slain slimes piled up as high as a mountain. The blond man stepped forward and planted a flag on it, smiling in satisfaction. Awesome. Let's keep this up. Meanwhile, on a certain rocky cliff, Dex was standing with his arms crossed, intently observing the system panel. On it was his ongoing quest. Novice Slayer. Kill users who have not yet advanced their class. Number of novices killed, 32,576. Time remaining, 1 day, 22 hours, 46 minutes, 17 seconds. Demon King Satan stared at the number of killed novices on the screen, extremely satisfied. He laughed gleefully. Kiki, to think you've killed over 30,000 people. Now this is what I call a real war. I've never seen a player as ruthless as you. Then, getting even more excited, he flew up and patted Dex's head repeatedly, continuing to laugh and say, Kiki, great job. It gives me the chills. It feels so weird being praised by a demon for doing evil deeds like this. Dex looked down at his score on the quest board. That's enough. 32,576. I can't believe I've accumulated this much. It would be hard to reach this number if I just killed them one by one. Satan asked, So what are you going to do next? Dex asked back blankly, Do what? Satan crossed his arms and replied nonchalantly, What's next? I'm talking about the current situation. If you don't do anything, humanity will definitely win. Dex looked at the panoramic view of the crowd standing below. He pondered for a moment, then flashed a cold, sinister smile. That won't do. Then he became engrossed in manipulating the system. Satan, beside him, felt very puzzled. Why are you suddenly quiet? Dex didn't answer his question, but directly threw on a torn, black cloak. Satan saw the dark bloodstains lingering on the hem of the cloak and panicked. What is that? Don't tell me you smeared blood on it. Dex smiled coldly. Either way, it's time to pick our side. Along with Satan's triumphant smile, Dex finally made his decision. We choose the slimes. On another side, at a high-rise building in Korea, Kwon Myung-han was making a plea to his superior. Please stop the slime raid. Please, CEO. Hearing the plea from her subordinate, she slowly cast a seductive glance over. It was a beautiful face with a noble aura that moved people's hearts. That was Lee Mi-yun, the CEO of Arcadia, an eagle perched on a high branch, spreading its wings and soaring across the vast sky. The time limit for the slime raid was 7 days, a period of time that was both long and short. The origin of a place more fitting to be called a battlefield than a novice village. The end was drawing near. Life here seemed to have returned to the peace of its early days. People bustled about, gathering in small groups and chatting with each other. The time until the raid ended was only 10 minutes and 42 seconds. A guy in black said happily, "The slimes have gotten quieter. Maybe they gave up. They haven't breached the defense line all week, so what else is there to expect?" The blonde man standing next to him also agreed enthusiastically. 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes left. It's almost over. The time was starting to count down bit by bit. The players here were all brimming with hope for victory, completely unaware that this was merely the calm before the storm. Just when everyone thought the outcome was clearly decided, the countdown clock on the system hit exactly 10 minutes. The true moment of life and death began. Amidst the panic and fear of those present, the sky gradually turned a bizarre, dark, and eerie crimson. Everyone was terrified and panicked. What's going on? Why did the sky suddenly turn crimson like this? Fuck. I have a bad feeling about this. Everyone gather around. I have a bad feeling. While the opposing side was still in chaos, on this side, Dex wore a sinister smile. All right. He stood on the head of the slime queen and gave the order. Let's begin. The hunting game officially starts now. Meanwhile, on the front lines of the novice team, the blonde man hurriedly waved his arms and shouted to try and stabilize the situation. Don't be afraid, everyone. It doesn't matter if the sky changes color. It's almost over. No matter what the slimes do, they can't do anything anymore. He was speaking when a noise cut him off. Guard Byron said tensely, "It's moving." The moving thing he was referring to was the slime queen. She appeared with a colossal appearance. Compared to the player's defensive wall, she was dozens of meters taller. Humanity had slaughtered countless innocent slimes over a long period of time. The slimes began to resist because they could no longer endure humanity's cruel actions, and they began to resolutely seek revenge out of anger. And to establish something, the monster leader, the slime queen, had appeared. She let out a furious roar. The massive roar echoed, forcing the novice players to take a few steps back just to stand firm. At this moment, the system notification bar was still counting down. Time until the raid ends. 9 minutes and 58 seconds. While the players were still in shock, the slime queen reached out her slimy hands, smashing them straight into the ground to pour out countless cute little baby slimes. The number of slimes was so overwhelming that it almost crushed the players' spirit to fight. Most of them immediately dropped their weapons, swords, and shields to run for their lives. Some were so scared they fell to the ground, unable to move. Another group ran for their lives. The scene instantly turned into a chaotic mess. Run! What kind of slime monster is this? Seeing the situation going south, the blonde man panicked and shouted after them. Everyone, maintain formation. Don't run. He tried his best to reassure and urge everyone to fight. Attack. Use whatever you can. Magic or bows and arrows are fine. Are you guys seriously scared? This is just a game. Why is everyone so scared? Suddenly, feeling an approaching pressure, he fell silent in panic. A dark shadow engulfed his vision. He looked up and saw the slime queen's giant, slimy hand slowly descending right above his head. The man widened his eyes in terror, watching the hand gradually crush him. He let out a desperate cry. Damn it! Did they really make this thing and expect us to beat it? His final voice was completely swallowed by the purple slime poured down by the Slime Queen. Right at this moment, sudden, consecutive attacks from afar aimed straight at the female monster. A fierce red-haired man roared, "Everyone, listen up." This successfully drew the attention of the scattered crowd. They looked up toward the source of the voice. The red-haired guy yelled aggressively, 5 minutes. We just need to hold out for 5 minutes. We don't need to kill it. Just draw their attention and run around. As long as we don't let it touch the guardian stone in the novice village, we win. The stone he was referring to was a large, purple spirit stone emitting a faint, mystical glow. It was placed on a pedestal right in the center of the village. After hearing the reminder, everyone snapped out of it. We have to protect it at all costs. Let's put the reputation of Korean players on the line. They exchanged glances, signaling each other, and nodded simultaneously. Everyone picked up their weapons again. Then they all rushed toward the shouting red-haired man, mentally preparing themselves to continue fighting. Everyone was fired up. Wah, wah, bastards. Don't worry about dying. Just attack first. It doesn't matter if you don't deal any damage. Anyone with long-range attacks, get over here and attack. This was humanity's human wave tactic. After successfully inciting the crowd, the red-haired guy looked incredibly smug. Looks like we solved the most urgent problem by a hair. Do it. At this moment, both sides took their combat positions. The giant slime queen faced the massive crowd of novice players. Who would be the final victor? The time for the final showdown was now down to 10 seconds and counting. The female slime monster started first by pouring a massive amount of blue-purple slime toward the players. She aggressively swept her arms, violently shattering the defensive wall and sending a small group of players flying into the air. The red-haired guy immediately hoisted his massive sword and charged forward. He even threw out a challenge. "Come on. I'm right here, you filthy pile of slime." Saying that, he slammed his sword hard into the ground, gaining momentum to charge straight at the Slime Queen. He rushed in with tremendous force, golden sparks flashing around his sword. The Slime Queen wasn't in a hurry at all. Just as the man got close, she used her magic to cast a barrier shield, causing the man to be repelled by the force of his own attack and knocked away. However, he was still stubborn and refused to give up. Too late. Take this and let's end this. You damn slime. Scene transition. Back to the CEO's office high up in the skyscraper. Facing Kwon Myung-han, who was standing in front of the desk, Lee Mi-yun asked coldly, "So, you want to request the authority to stop the slime raid?" Kwon Myung-han answered tensely, "That's right. I already told you, didn't I? That's impossible." Lee Mi-yun stood up and replied indifferently, "I already told you. It's impossible. We are not the gods of Arcadia. We only manage it. To come up with appropriate countermeasures, not to erase the entire event. That is our role." Meanwhile, inside the game, after landing an attack on the female slime monster, the red-haired guy sat down exhaustedly to rest at the base of the pedestal holding the village's guardian stone. He panted heavily and muttered to himself, "It's really over, right?" Just when he thought everything was settled and the outcome was decided, a noise suddenly came from behind. The guardian stone began to crack, to his absolute horror. He never in a million years could have expected this. He had taken down the one he thought was the final boss of the quest, the Slime Queen. Yet, in his brief moment of carelessness, Dex had quietly approached him from behind and thrust his sword straight into the guardian stone. Dex said nonchalantly, "Oops, my hand slipped." The system began to announce, "The guardian stone protecting the village has been destroyed. Linked quest. You have failed to quell the wrath of the slimes. The novice village will be permanently destroyed." The red-haired guy's expression was one of pure shock. He could barely force out a few words. You son of a bitch." The curse had barely left his lips before it was completely silenced by a ruthless, merciless sword strike. Dex struck decisively, without even a hint of emotion. He just coldly asked himself, "Huh? I didn't get any extra recognition points after killing him? Is he a novice? Well, I've got a lot already, so whatever." The other players, after receiving the system notification, came running in a panic. "Damn it. I can't believe the Guardian Stone was destroyed. Since when did the slimes get into the square?" But when they arrived, the sight before them left them stunned. Looking toward where the guardian stone was supposed to be, a figure in a fluttering black cloak was standing there. Wait a minute. That's not a monster, but a player? Dex slowly turned around to face them directly. A massive, mystical purple crystal was gradually cracking apart. A seemingly terrifying voice echoed, "The guardian crystal has been destroyed." As soon as the voice faded, they saw Dex in his black outfit with his familiar sword, standing on the pedestal where the crystal had just been. The three men witnessing this scene initially dropped their jaws in surprise, then asked tremblingly, "Who is that?" They looked in panic toward where he was standing and screamed, "What the hell is wrong with this bastard?" The blonde guy yelled, "Hey you!" One of the other three chimed in, "What the hell are you doing?" He cleared his throat and yelled, "You troll! You dog!" The shout was ear-piercing, but Dex just calmly turned his handsome face, flashing an incredibly cool smirk. Everyone started getting angry and charged forward with their weapons, not forgetting to shout, "Catch that bastard! Get his name first. I'm going to spend the rest of my life torturing you." Dex scoffed, gently replying with a line full of gunpowder. "Is that so?" He continued, "But this isn't the time for that." Hearing this, everyone was confused. The man asked in bewilderment, "What?" The system notification rang out. Main Scenario Act 1. The Forgotten Darkness Rises. Quest: The Wrath of the Slimes. Failed. The novice village will be permanently destroyed. A powerful purple beam of light shot out. It flew into the sky and exploded. The people below murmured. Someone said loudly, "The slime queen exploded." Green slime flew up from the cracks in the road. They gradually became larger and stronger. The people around screamed in panic. "There's something in the ground. It's rising up." Everyone stared in shock as the slime gradually floated into the sky, standing frozen in fear, not knowing what to do. Someone continued, "It looks like they're merging into a dance." A person raised their sword to slash at them, saying, "Don't tell me a slime is being born." Hearing that, another person agitatedly yelled, "What kind of nonsense are you spouting? I know we're being ambushed, but there's no way a monster would spawn in the middle of the village." Exactly as they predicted, a giant slime had merged together, radiating a terrifying aura. Before anyone could react, it slammed a heavy blow into the ground, making them scream in terror. The green slime flew toward them again, making them panic and use their arms to shield themselves. Right before their eyes appeared giant purple slimes that looked incredibly eerie. People said in fear, "They're too big." The system notification panel kept popping up. The slimes, despised on the continent of Arcadia, have defeated the humans who slaughtered them. And now they are hunting humanity to the ends of the earth. The slimes cried out, "Hugh! Hugh!" The system popped up again. The slime army rises in a human territory. Suddenly, pink hair fluttered in the night sky. The system continued, along with their leader. The slime queen was seen sitting on a turquoise throne. Her appearance changed into a beautiful, cold woman, as if saying, "I'm back and better than ever." Satan, down below, marveled, "She's pretty badass." Now, the citadel no longer had its original beautiful appearance, but was instead replaced by a dark, slimy scenery, covered by a giant magic circle and slimes. The system notification sound rang out again. The location of the novice village has been changed to a slime colony. The notification was broadcast to everyone in the city. "Warning, you have entered a hunting zone for level 80. Please be careful." This left everyone dropping their jaws in shock, trembling in fear as they said, 80. What the hell is going on? Q. The sound of a slime behind a man made his hair stand on end as he screamed. A massive slime army surrounded the three people. Dex smiled sinisterly and said, "This was your idea." He continued, building the stable before catching the horse. The slimes began to attack, causing everyone to panic, scatter, and scream. Scene transition. A blonde girl with a radiant face appeared and said, "Here's today's gaming news. I'm announcer Mika. Great to see you again." On the screen, she continued, "Arcadia is widely known as a virtual reality game. The events happening in the game are being heavily complained about by players. Because of the event that took place in the novice village." The audio from the news was still playing while Dex was lying on his bed, looking exhausted from staying up too late playing games. He was catching up on sleep. A while later, he woke up. yawned, and stretched. The news station was still broadcasting. Because the players failed to complete the quest, the existence of a village was wiped out and turned into a dungeon. This is truly shocking news, even for someone who has been a reporter for 5 years and a gamer for 20 years like me. What do you guys think? This is resident reporter Mika. While drying his hair with a towel, he listened to the news. Comments were constantly popping up on his phone screen. Whoa, seriously? A whole novice village disappeared just like that? What a joke. What the hell are the developers doing? If new players get this, it's hopeless. So beginners start the game by getting welcomed by slimes like that? Give us back the novice village, you bastards. Suddenly, one comment caused a stir. Anyway, I heard this incident is related to the novice slayer. Really? What do you mean? I heard a rumor that a player destroyed the guardian crystal, not the slimes. They call that guy the novice slayer? Come on, how is that possible? If it's true, this guy is an absolute legend. He brushed his teeth while reading the comments, thinking to himself, things are pretty chaotic, huh? I should probably lay low for a while. He continued thinking, a lot of people probably lost their items because of me. As he thought, he read a post. My EXP. I'm a super high level and lost everything. I was also involved in the novice village incident. I was doing some quests and about to level up. But then the NPCs told me those quests don't exist anymore. How is the game company going to explain this? He rinsed his mouth while thinking, I just did what the game told me to do. What do they want me to do? He visualized his titles and his companion. The Chaos Board. Companion, Demon King Satan. And that person, please do everything you can to mess things up. Like me right now. He put on a thoughtful expression. He scratched his head and continued thinking. But who cares? If I break the rules or something, I'll just get banned by the company anyway. He reached out to open the door, his mouth still moving. Besides, I need to focus on my reality. As he spoke, he looked out the door, which was flooded with light. Scene transitioned to a certain school. People were walking into the school. Next to the door was a sign with large text. Seomin University, Computer Engineering Department. Dex walked into the lecture hall, pulled out a chair, and sat down, thinking to himself, freshman orientation for Seomin University of Engineering. It's not exactly a prestigious school, but I like college life and stuff like this. Suddenly, he looked over. He noticed his desk mate watching a video and thought, that video this guy is watching. Looking closely, he realized the guy was watching a video of him. Running into a fan at school out of nowhere made him think, I'm in there. He watched and continued thinking, when was this recorded? He was even more surprised when he looked down at the subtitles. 2 million views. He gulped in shock, thinking, why are there so many views? But more importantly, the money from those views. Suddenly, the guy next to him turned his head and asked, are you interested in this video too? This startled Dex. He said shyly, I'm sorry, I just happened to glance over. The video looks really interesting. In his heart, he thought, how could I not watch a video with me in it? The guy held out his hand to introduce himself. I'm Ji-hoon. Nice to meet you. Sitting at the same desk like this must be destiny. Let's be friends. Dex replied, nice to meet you. I'm Quan Dex. The curly-haired guy continued. This is a clip from the game Arcadia. You know this game too, right? Ji-hoon said excitedly. Everything in here is a total mess right now. There was this novice village, and suddenly the slimes rose up and burned the whole village down. Dex replied, is that so? He thought to himself, I guess this guy isn't interested in me at all. He's only talking about Arcadia. Suddenly, the guy changed his tone. He continued, do you know about this novice slayer? The question startled Dex and made him panic. He broke into a sweat, thinking, novice slayer? Why is he bringing this up? Does he know who I am? He thought as he looked toward Ji-hoon. Perhaps he believed in the truth that people who wear glasses are usually very dangerous. The entire scene of the events unfolding at the novice village was being directly observed by Lee Mi-yun via a tablet in her office. Facing this outcome, she didn't have any particular reaction. She just softly murmured, the novice village was destroyed. I'm going to be very busy from now on. After calmly taking a sip of coffee, according to Arcadia's settings, special cases can absolutely happen. But to reach this extent, after thinking for a moment, she suddenly sighed softly and smiled. Anyway, this will just help draw more attention to Arcadia. Let's consider this a valuable lesson. Recalling her subordinate's fierce reaction earlier, Lee Mi-yun stretched and thought, that's the first time I've seen the CEO so angry. Although she didn't care too much about the situation happening inside the game, she couldn't help but be curious. All of this was caused by a single player. I want to see what that person looks like. Scene transition to the gates of Seomin University. With a slightly surprised face. Does he know who I am? Ji-hoon stood against the wall, his face showing a bit of amusement at Dex's expression. He smiled slightly and patted Dex's shoulder. What's wrong with you? This action directly left Dex bewildered and confused. Ji-hoon laughed, telling him not to worry too much when he didn't know anything yet, and that he would tell him. You're really lucky, you know. Dex sweated helplessly. Yeah, really? In his head, he wondered if the guy was pretending to know everything. Ji-hoon showed him a video. Here, this is the latest Novice Slayer incident. He continued, they say the Novice Slayer is closely related to the slime raid on the Novice village that day. He excitedly told Dex that this was classified information only he knew. Dex pretended to be confused and asked how a player could do such a thing. He thought to himself, he's a lot sharper than he looks. Dex observed carefully. If I let anything slip, it'll make things very complicated. I absolutely cannot let him know that I'm the Novice Slayer. Ji-hoon, beside him, saw his expression and thought he was talking too much. At the computer engineering department, freshman orientation. The professor at the podium said, Ahem, it looks like everyone is here. It's great to meet all of you. I am Professor Kim Tae-woo, the head of the computer engineering department at our school. Although I'm sorry to interrupt this welcoming orientation, I had to drop by to speak with you and the upperclassmen who are also studying in this computer engineering department. Immediately, the professor's words caused the students below to murmur. What is he trying to do? You all must have heard television and news channels mentioning a lot about the technology called virtual reality. It has led to a major revolution in computer science. The professor looked up and said in a slightly angry tone, Arcadia. This name immediately caught Dex's attention. Those who have experienced that world must also know that we can no longer keep up with the world using just computer engineering. The professor turned serious. Therefore, after countless discussions, both the department and the university have agreed that the current computer engineering curriculum can no longer keep up with the changes of the times. Dex intertwined his fingers and rested his chin on them. The professor is right. Because all the technologies that exist today have become old and obsolete when faced with a new culture like virtual reality. Professor Kim stated clearly, therefore, after a long period of discussion, the school administration and the Ministry of Education and Training have decided that from this year onward, computer engineering will be changed to virtual reality engineering. This caused the students below to immediately erupt. Professor Kim continued, I know this will cause confusion among you here, but if we don't keep up with the great revolution of the world, we will definitely fall behind the times. Professor Kim affirmed. During the lunch break, the students were scrambling to get food. A full dining table with soups and side dishes. This is really surprising. Ji-hoon felt quite annoyed thinking about the department's name being changed. Meanwhile, Dex, sitting opposite him, couldn't understand why he was eating with this guy. But Dex quickly changed his expression. And most importantly, I didn't expect the professor to mention Arcadia right in the middle of the orientation like that. Pretty amazing, huh? Ji-hoon didn't care. Yeah, he's really addicted to Arcadia. Dex thought to himself, and then asked him, come to think of it, why don't you play Arcadia? This question made the piece of meat on Ji-hoon's chopsticks immediately fall. He looked up, startled. Ji-hoon tilted his head and dodged the question. I really want to, but the equipment for it is so expensive, so I haven't tried it yet. Plus, I'm not good at playing games. Ji-hoon looked bewildered. Dex thought to himself, I can't get caught. He quickly decided to change the subject as naturally as possible. He glanced at Ji-hoon. But you play Arcadia, right? Dex, with food still on his mouth, laughed loudly. Of course. Not only that, he continued to brag. I might not look like it, but I'm really good at it. Ji-hoon feigned surprise. Really? But inside, he thought, phew, good thing I changed the subject. Dex ate and talked. Let me know when you play. I'll help you. It's a bit hard lately because they spawn novices in pretty random places. Dex immediately replied, of course. If I play, I'll text you. After the conversation, Ji-hoon looked at Dex with a sympathetic gaze and a wry smile. He's really nice. What a weird guy. Satan puffed his cheeks, angry. Why did you take so long? You dare make me wait. You're really something. Dex, with a sleepy face, yawned widely. I haven't slept for days because of the slime raid. So before coming here, I rested for a bit. Satan scowled and kicked him. You're so weak. This is why I shouldn't make contracts with humans. Dex just thought to himself as he turned to him. He must have been really bored. Suddenly, a scream rang out. It approached Dex at a rapid speed. He only had time to turn around, unable to react. Instantly, the slime queen lunged at him, her eyes full of joy, wanting to hug Dex. A second later, many other slimes from behind immediately rushed over. This took him completely by surprise, and he fell down. The other slimes also quickly rushed over and crushed him underneath. Faced with the overwhelming attack of the slimes, he felt helpless. I can't breathe. Satan on the other side was also pinned down by a slime. Ugh, get off me, you jelly. You guys are so sticky and weird. He cursed angrily. Once everything settled down, Dex faced the slime queen. The slime queen pulled up her dress, placed her hand over her chest, and bowed. The system immediately displayed a notification. Emotion, the slime queen expresses her gratitude to you. The other slimes also closed their eyes, displaying emotions, and bowed. The slime race will always remember your contribution in driving away humanity and creating a separate territory for slimes. You are the savior of the slime race. He raised his hand, allowing her to stand up. I'm not that great. The system immediately announced. Title changed from Ally of the Slimes to Savior of the Slimes. Reward received, Slime Crown. A golden crown suddenly materialized in the air from fragments. It quickly appeared on his head, which surprised him quite a bit. The system immediately announced. Recognition increased by 2,413 points. Quest completed, The Wrath of the Slimes. He felt surprised and utterly amazed. That's a lot of rewards. The system notification displayed the title, Savior of the Slimes. You saved the slime race from a major crisis and helped them prosper. They have remembered your favor. This caused his stats to increase rapidly. He sighed. I've received the titles Novice Slayer and Savior of the Slimes. It's best not to show them off to anyone. Hey, Master. Satan called him from behind, catching his attention. What's wrong, Satan? Satan floated in the air, his face looking a bit aggrieved as he asked, why don't we leave this area? If I see one more purple thing, I'm really gonna throw up. Dex also sighed helplessly at the clingy slimes. Satan beside him scowled in disgust. The slime queen looked happy and shouted joyfully, wanting to bid him farewell. You have left the slime territory. He turned back to look at them one last time. Now that everything was done, he turned around. All right, let's go then. To the next location. In an area at the foot of towering mountain ranges, a village deep within still passed its days peacefully. Deep in those mountains, an aura suddenly radiated intensely, carried far away by the wind. A woman with blonde hair and glowing angel wings. Although her eyes were closed, it couldn't stop the light emitting from her. Due to the recent slime raid incident, the novice village had been completely destroyed. But the players were able to find a location for a new novice village faster than expected, mainly because recently, a post like this appeared on the forums. There's Baron Mikhail's territory 10 kilometers away from the novice village. I'm recommending this place because the monsters around here aren't too strong, and the items the NPCs sell here aren't too expensive either. The poster thoughtfully attached a picture of the prosperous Baron Mikhail's territory. This post quickly caught everyone's attention. The comments section also blew up. I've been there too. I think this is the closest place to a novice village. No wonder so many bros are gathering here lately. Nice. A new zone. Anyone want to party up and hunt together? The rumors spread like wildfire, and the players gathered at Baron Mikhail's territory. Everyone knew that. At this moment, a pair of skinny legs suddenly stopped. That person was none other than Dex. With an expressionless face, he looked straight ahead. Not far from him was the entrance to Baron Mikhail's territory. A guard yelled at him gruffly, "Halt! What is your name?" Suddenly, the Demon King poked his head out from Dex's cloak collar, looking around. Dex answered him briefly, "Dex." The guard seemed to ponder something. Then, he spoke up loudly. "You're also from the novice village, right?" Dex paused slightly. "Yes, I suppose so." The guard sighed. "Phew, what the hell happened there?" I heard something absolutely ridiculous took place, like the wrath of the slimes or something. Dex was secretly shocked. Rumors spread among NPCs too? I need to be more careful. So he said, you'd know clearly if you were there. They aren't normal slimes anymore. He added, Edeline has now turned into a monster habitat. And the lowest level monster there is probably around level 85. The guard couldn't help but be shocked. 85. How is that possible? He seemed to realize he was overreacting, so he quickly adjusted his tone. Ahem. I see. Now I understand why everyone is gathering here. The reason you came here is probably so you can settle down, right? He added, please wait a moment. I'll prepare a few things and then let you into the city. Dex happily replied, thank you, sir. At this time, the Demon King was still looking around everywhere. Dex asked, are you looking for something? He scratched his head irritably. This place feels familiar. Dex asked in surprise, familiar? He pondered. Never mind. All right, I'm probably just overthinking it. Then, he abruptly changed the subject. But why do you keep calling me Satan? I already have a super VIP name. It's Satan, the King of Chaos, the Demon King Satan. Dex spoke without thinking. I call you Satan because your name is too awesome, so it would attract other people's attention if I called you by your real name. Hearing that, Satan laughed gleefully. It's too long, huh? I see. Can't be helped, right? Huh. Dex thought to himself, look at how smug he is. He quickly got serious again and changed the subject. Anyway, master, what are you going to do with that? Dex didn't react in time, so he asked back, with what? Satan waved his arms around to describe it. That power called recognition. It seems like you've earned way more since the first time we met. Dex understood and replied, yeah. The system panel displayed. Recognition, 33,551. Staring wide-eyed, Satan was practically drooling. His eyes sparkled as he shared his thoughts. Man, I didn't think you'd accumulate that much. If you add up all the points you used before, you must have killed over 40,000 people, right? Ho, I'm right, aren't I? But aren't you going to use it? Then give it to me. Dex decisively cut off his thoughts. I don't want to. Satan immediately got angry and strained his neck to question him. Why? You can only use it if you have me anyway. If you give that to me, I'll give you some insanely overpowered stuff. Just say the word. I'll give you any item you want. He started painting a picture. I guarantee you'll be able to easily rule this entire continent if you equip these things. The things he mentioned were a sword, armor, and a crystal ball. He added, not only that, you'll live a life of luxury just by selling one of them. Dex sighed. I'll talk to you about it later. Just wait until then. Satan could only cross his arms in dissatisfaction. I've said all I can say. Actually, in his heart, Dex was thinking, Satan's idea does pique my interest. Because the item he showed me earlier was a unique item, level 150. But I don't think it's a good idea to just rely on Satan and this system called recognition. There must be something even more valuable to do with recognition than those items Satan is trying to give me. Dex secretly clenched his fist. I should be more careful when using recognition, especially when I don't know much about it yet. Dex suddenly smirked. More importantly, doing that would be pretty boring, wouldn't it? Inside Baron Mikhail's territory was a bustling, prosperous scene. The streets on both sides were filled with the sounds of vendors shouting. Good stuff, cheap prices here. Come by, come by. Everything can also be traded for iron ore. Hey there, handsome. You want a good sword? Seeing Dex just wandering around aimlessly, Satan asked, so where are we going now? Actually, Dex didn't know either. He just said, I'm going to take a walk around, look for some useful things, and find a suitable quest if possible. Dex suddenly widened his eyes. He noticed two miners sitting in a pub across the street drinking beer. One said, things aren't looking good, huh? The brown-haired man complained. The Lord ordered us to increase iron ore production. This isn't good at all. How are we supposed to mine more than this? We're already eating, sleeping, and resting way less. The bald man also sighed wearily. I know. I'm afraid he'll punish us severely if we don't increase production within the time limit. Dex silently repeated the word, Lord. He suddenly covered his mouth and smiled suspiciously. Ho, so there's something like that going on. Satan looked at him, startled. Dex said profoundly, interesting. Satan's brain slipped. This cowardly rat. What is he starting again? A voice rang out. The two men in the pub immediately looked over in confusion. Dex smiled friendlily, looking incredibly confident as he spoke to them. I think I can solve your problem. The faces of the two men immediately lit up. They raised their voices. Really? Then please help us. The system immediately displayed a quest titled The Miner's Worry. The objective was to collect iron ore for the miners who had been ordered by Baron Mikhail to increase iron ore production. Iron ore progress, 0/20. You can receive additional rewards if you collect more iron ore than required. After reading it, Satan criticized, "What's with this trash quest? Hey, master, just do what you always do. This quest looks like it's repeatable, anyone can do it." But Dex felt quite interested. "I'm wondering if that's the case." He told him, "Look around, Satan." Satan grunted. Even though he didn't understand a thing, he still looked around. He only saw that everyone around was trading very busily, selling iron ore for 20 copper. Free repairs for equipment under level 20 here. I'm selling self-made equipment. Items made with rank C blacksmithing skill. Satan glared in confusion and asked, "Is there something to see? Aren't they just normal blacksmiths?" Dex smiled. "Well, I guess you could say that," he said with near certainty. "Most of them aren't NPCs, but players." He added, "This makes sense since the demand from a ton of players who came here is high. But a lot of people are rejecting the iron ore gathering quest. Because like you said, this is just a normal repeatable quest." He asked him, "There's an increase in demand, but the supply remains the same. So what do you think will happen?" Satan had never thought about this issue, so he said, "Beats me." Hearing that, Dex didn't explain further. You'll understand soon enough, even if you don't like the outcome." For a newbie, Dex gave him an okay hand sign and asked, "Should I start making my first bit of money?" In Baron Mikhail's territory, inside a magnificent room, Lord Baron Mikhail was sitting in deep thought. She calculated inwardly. Iron ore was only 10 copper last month, and now it's 15 copper. Prices are rising too fast. She couldn't help but feel gloomy. At this rate, there won't be enough for the blacksmiths in the village. If that happens, only low-quality items made by apprentices for practice will be sold on the market. And ultimately, the quality of items in our territory will drop severely. She gradually became anxious. Everything will go to ruin if I don't do something. So she decided, I need to do something. At the same time, at the extremely desolate Futha Mountain, in a high mountain area was the entrance to a mine. Inside, the path was pitch black. Fortunately, there were still lanterns illuminating the way. A voice echoed in the tunnel. "There probably aren't many people here since it's this deep." Dex said eagerly, "Shall we begin?" "I'll be counting on you, Satan." Satan asked doubtfully, "Is this really okay?" He really couldn't understand. Why are you wasting recognition on useless things like this? Dex just put a finger to his lips. Quiet and execute. Unable to resist, Satan had to follow his orders. He channeled his power while saying, "All right, fine. I'm starting." A brilliant purple light flashed in the dark tunnel. At the same time, the system displayed a notification. 8,000 recognition has been consumed for a contract with your subordinate. A drill with a glowing red eye in the center suddenly appeared in midair. The system quickly introduced it, Djinn Destroyer. A drill made from the toenail of a djinn predator, a mole species in the demon world. Level required to equip, unknown. Durability, 10,000/10,000. Special skill, accelerated digging. Keenly increases digging speed. Greatly reduces failure rate when digging. Can find high-quality materials. Dex praised it with satisfaction, top tier. The purple light shining on his face made him look somewhat terrifying. He thought with extreme excitement, let's start getting rich. In Baron Mikhail's territory, bustling trade exchanges echoed in every corner of the city. Lately, iron ore was gradually becoming scarce. Players who took the quest to gather iron ore for the miners were constantly searching, looking to buy 20 cheap iron ores for a quest. A female player was looking to buy iron ore to complete her quest. "Hey miss, is it the repeatable miner quest?" A male player spoke up after hearing the girl's purchasing offer. He chuckled and revealed, "Haha, don't do that one. It doesn't help with anything except increasing a little affinity with the blacksmith. Instead, you're better off mining the ore and selling it for a profit." It seemed the issue with the mines and the blacksmith quests was getting more complicated as players constantly bought up iron ore and recklessly crafted with it, instead of giving it to the real blacksmiths. Witnessing the conversation between the two players, blacksmith Aiden couldn't help but get angry. These damn adventurers. I can't believe they're taking precious iron ore to craft those low-grade items. Exactly. These nobodies come from who knows where and call themselves masters and artisans. Blacksmith Cask chimed in, agreeing with Aiden. It's total chaos. It seems like if the Baroness doesn't solve this problem soon, this territory will soon be ruined. The economy in Arcadia wasn't much different from real life. Production and consumption. Supply and demand. Distribution. It was like the skeleton of an entire economic system, stretching out, connecting, and compensating for each other so that everything could develop together. Materials, as well as specialties from different regions, all had their differences. Wood, wool, silk. Each region was in charge of a specific material. Then the demand for materials would also change depending on the situation and the season. Then came trading. And currently, the material with the highest demand on the market was iron ore. They were in severe shortage while the demand for iron was skyrocketing. Finding iron ore was so difficult that players were going crazy over it. According to what players speculated, it might be because too many people chose the blacksmith profession, making iron ore increasingly hard to find. The price of iron ore was rising to ridiculous heights. Yeah, that's the consequence of a supply shortage. That caused the price of ore to be pushed from 10 copper to 17 copper. The current price was 1.7 times higher. Even crafting refined items from iron ore now didn't bring in much profit. Players started complaining more and more. It seemed they still hadn't realized that the cause of this was themselves. I know this game aims for realism, but this is a bit too much. If I had known, I would have just chosen to be a warrior to make things easier. Complaints from players echoed everywhere. They just buy iron ore available on the market instead of mining it themselves. This is because they figure it takes about 2 hours to travel from the inner city to the mines, and mining it yourself is a huge pain. It's not like you strike or with every swing. Mining is tough, and your pickaxe could break at any moment. So they push this grueling work onto others, hoping someone else will do it for them. Therefore, it's better to just leave it to someone else and focus on upgrading skills by repairing things. Yeah, from a profit standpoint, mining it yourself really isn't worth it. However, not everyone thinks that way. At Couple's Peak, he wielded the Black Destroyer, frantically drilling into the mine. Iron ore was continuously unearthed. The system notifications chimed endlessly, flashing blue on the interface. You have collected iron ore. How lucky. You have collected iron ore. Your mining skill has reached the master level. Mining speed and success rate have increased. You can now mine rare iron ores at a low probability. You can detect hidden ores. Stats increased by 10. Stopping to rest, he opened his inventory. The item count was staggering. 1,024 iron ores along with various other rare ores. Suddenly, Tin rushed in. Master, there you are? I've been looking everywhere for you. Seeing Tan, he couldn't help but wonder where the guy had been. Before he could react, Tin spoke up. Thinking about it, I figured you wouldn't be satisfied with just that drill. After some thought, I found the perfect item to earn your full approval. As soon as he finished speaking, he summoned a rather bizarre eye-shaped necklace. It was an item called Tear of the Night. The level requirement was 220, with infinite durability. Dark Affinity plus 50, Dark Attribute plus 80. It had special skills, Veil of Darkness, Night's Wrath, and Dark Skill level plus 2. Upon equipping, you will be despised by spirits. The wearer will not be attacked by dark spirits, and you gain the ability to detect invisible enemies. After all that fuss, he didn't even care. He boredly wiped his sweat with a towel and said, I told you I don't need anything. The level requirement is 220. Who could even buy this right now? I can't even use it. More importantly, this thing is way too overpowered. If I equip it, everything will become too easy and boring, so I don't want it. Seeing Tan still being stubborn, he couldn't help but sigh at the kid. People will definitely find out if I try to sell it. If I sell it and quit the game right now, maybe I'd get away with it. But that's no different from killing the goose that lays the golden eggs, right? Tan, feeling completely pierced by Dex's words, quickly spoke up to stop Dave's endless rambling. Well, anyway, Where have you been all this time? You've been gone for a while, Dis asked, questioning Tan's whereabouts. The hesitation, combined with the Demon King's dangerous, scheming expression, made his casual, "it was nothing" completely untrustworthy. Just as suspected, this guy was plotting something shady. Tan's gleeful laughter and punchable face made Dex feel like he was looking at some idiot who just escaped from an asylum. Looking at the amount of, or collected, Tan couldn't hide his surprise. You really gathered a lot. This might even be more than the entire territories or supply. According to his plan, he would mine this much every day and sell it. He'd definitely rack up a ton of affinity points with the blacksmiths by completing that quest over and over. And when that happens, the Baroness's interest will be piqued. On the Baroness's side, a meeting was taking place. "Baroness, if we don't have enough iron or supply this time, we won't be able to meet the shipping deadline stipulated in the contract. The recent situation has been quite difficult. I might even have to close my shop. I'm thinking about moving to another territory with more iron." Anxiety was written all over the Baroness's face. She asked for everyone's thoughts and opinions on the issue. And of course, the problem lay with the adventurers. Everyone agreed that a massive influx of adventurers had flocked here and chosen to become blacksmiths. Those adventurers were merely apprentice blacksmiths, and everything they crafted was second-rate. Even though their goal was to become artisans and masters, the process would consume a massive amount of iron ore. Moreover, the problem was that the number of miners didn't increase proportionally with the number of blacksmiths, because those adventurers didn't like hard labor. Ultimately, the core issue still lay with the adventurers. By law, they couldn't force them to mine ore, nor could they only sell refined ore to the artisans. Everything seemed to hit a dead end. The destruction of the beginner's village forced adventurers to choose other places to continue their quests, causing a huge headache for Baroness Mikhail's city. While they were tearing their hair out over these troubles, a soldier suddenly rushed in, bringing massive news. A mountain of rare, high-quality iron ore. This caused a massive uproar. Everyone was scrambling to buy up the rare ores. And the one who caused that massive uproar was none other than Death. Right now, he was leisurely sitting in a small alley, counting the money he made from 3 days of mining. The money earned from that was 5 gold coins and 12 silver coins. If converted to real-world money, it was about 512,000 won. And if he kept going, he could earn around 5 million gold. That was no small sum. It was a decent profit to pay off installments, rent, and tuition. But it seemed he needed a better method, because he couldn't just keep doing this. There were still so many things to prepare. While lost in his endless train of thought, a voice suddenly rang out. "Are you the one who brought all that iron ore here?" The first meeting between him and the Baroness marked the beginning of realizing Deeg's plans. The system interface popped up, indicating that the person standing in front of him was Baroness Mikhail. Along with her curiosity, the Baroness's affinity points increased. Death flashed a confident, winning smile. "That would be me. I am Mikhail, the Baroness of this territory. If you're free, would you care to join me for a cup of tea?" With the Baroness's introduction and friendly invitation, it seemed his plan was finally coming to fruition.